memorable night here in our home state of Ohio, along with Adrian Ferguson. I'm Tom O'Neill. Thanks for watching all of the action here. President Trump giving a powerful speech, saying that he's returning power to the people. He wants another 4 years, and the crowd was chanting 4 more years, 4 more years. President Trump delivering another memorable, peaceful protest tonight here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. We're grateful that you're joining us, and stick around because this is only game 2 of a triple header tonight. Next, we're going to have a rally in Waukesha, Wisconsin. So Liz Willis and Grace and Lilith will be there with you to bring you all the action. President Trump covering every issue tonight here in Ohio. And again, we're so grateful that you're joining us. And anything else that you want to add, Adrian, before we sign off?
I just want to say thank you again to all of our donors and for everyone interacting in the chat today. This rally was amazing. Thank you all for your support, and we hope to see you at our next rally.
Thank you, and have a good night from Circleville, Ohio. Good night.
Stay smile. 10. Okay, everybody, we're now going to transition our coverage over to Waukesha, Wisconsin. Stay tuned. Our reporters will be live in just a second. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us right now on the Circleville stream, please head all over to the Waukesha stream if you want to watch that one. It's going to be a big one, and it's going to be massive, and we've got all angles covered for you. So we'll see you over there. God bless. Have a good night.
Hi friends, Father Frank Pavone here of Priests for Life. There is nothing like a Trump rally, and it fires us up to help the president. So I want to urge you to go to armyfortrump.com today. There's so much you can do, being a digital activist, making phone calls, knocking on doors. Be a part of the biggest presidential campaign in American history. armyfortrump.com. Go there today, and remember, support Right Side Broadcasting.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network. We are live today for President Trump's third rally of the day. We're excited to be here. I'm Liz Willis, and I'm going to hand it off to my co-hosts to introduce themselves as well.
Hey guys, Grace Saldana here. I'm so happy to be back in Wisconsin. I was just here 1 week ago, so I'm excited to see what the president has to say just days before Election Day. So we are very excited to be here.
Hey everyone, good to see all of you. My name is Lilith. I'm one of the newer correspondents on RSBN. This is my third Trump rally ever, my first time in Wisconsin. It's really cold. Our feet are getting a little numb. Our toes are getting a little numb. But patriots have been lining up all day to see President Trump. So we have a country to save. We're running out of time. So we want to be here real time to show you his rallies, and we hope that you're able to stick around through the whole night. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Lilith. We want to begin, of course, by really saying welcome and explaining quickly who we are, what we do, and what you can expect from the stream here today for those who are new. Right Side Broadcasting Network covers a lot of events live, but most specifically and mainly President Trump's campaign rallies. We've been doing it for a little bit over 4 years now. This is our third one of the day, and I think our fifth one of the week with like 9 more to go. I mean, it's absolutely crazy the amount of energy President Trump is putting into campaigning right now. And the only thing crazier than that is the lack of energy mainstream media is putting into broadcasting these events, full of thousands of people showing up to support President Trump. From Arizona to Wisconsin, there's always a line. The temperatures are pretty much extreme from one to the other, and that doesn't stop anyone from coming out. So our goal at RSBN is to broadcast these live. It is free for your viewing pleasure on Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, our website, so many different platforms that you're able to watch this on. So thank you for joining us. Today's schedule is gonna, we already missed the Pledge of Allegiance, a few pre-speakers, the national anthem. That's because President Trump was speaking in Ohio, which was his second stop of the day, his first one being North Carolina. So we are waiting for Air Force One. We might have some more pre-speakers, not entirely sure. But again, President Trump is scheduled to speak at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we have an hour and 15 minutes until his arrival. And I'm really interested to see just how strong he is for his third appearance of the day. I tend to underestimate his power and his energy because he always amazes me. Just when I think this might be it, he might be tired, the crowds might be small. That's never the case. Right Side Broadcasting Network is almost entirely viewer funded, so we do rely on your donations to keep us in business, to keep traveling this great country and broadcasting President Trump's Make America Great Again rallies. There are a number of ways you can donate to us. The first one being the YouTube Super Chat. Just click the $sign in the bottom right-hand corner of the live chat. The second way is by going to our website. It's done through PayPal, so it's a tried, true, and trusted source. You can go to www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. The third way is by sending a check. You can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. And a free way to show support and to help us out, of course, like this stream, comment the stream, share it, make sure your friends and family know. We're going to be here all night, and we're excited to be here and to bring you this. We want to make it seem as though you are here in person, and we think RSBN is the best place for that. We do have a partner today, so I'm going to hand it off to Grace to talk to the audience a little bit more about how you can support some of our patriotic partners. They've been incredible businesses to work with, and we're thrilled to partner with them. So over to you, Grace.
Thanks, Liz. Our partner today is iTarget. Innocent people are falling victim to crime, intimidation, and forced to fend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. But most of us don't have time to consistently train, plus ammo is really expensive. That's why iTarget Pro was invented. Using their proprietary app and laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. iTarget comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Today you can get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code SAVE10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days of practice. That's the letter itargetpro.com, itargetpro.com, offer code SAVE10. So, we are so excited to be here in Wisconsin. It's very chilly. It's going to drop to about 32 tonight. So the people out here at this rally are so dedicated. We're in a very conservative county. We're in Waukesha County, which is, it's very red, let's just say. It's very conservative. So everybody here is surely a Trumper, and everyone in town that we've talked to and met on the ground has been so happy, and there's so much, there's like an air of freedom in Wisconsin, and I just love it. And so I'm sure there's going to be tons of energy tonight.
Thank you. One thing I want to remind everyone, this is our third rally of the day, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. I know you guys donate and you support us so much, but we have around 11 rallies to get to this week. It's between $5,000 and $7,000 for each rally. This morning was a little bit rough in terms of fundraising, but we're not going to give up no matter what, whether it comes out of our pockets. We are going to finish strong. We have 10 days left until the most important election of our lifetime. Fortunately, I went and early voted last weekend in my home state of Georgia. I I don't have to worry about it. But we need to make sure we are here showing these rallies, showing the world that your vote is important. It's not going to go wasted. Biden doesn't have this locked down. Look at the crowds behind me, and you're not seeing that at a Biden rally. You're also not going to see a Biden rally in general because he doesn't do them, or anything else for that matter. However, it is so important for you guys to get out a vote and to support other organizations, especially conservative news like Right Side Broadcasting Network, that are working hard, viewer funded, to get this message out to the American people. Now more than ever, President Trump needs your support. I want to make a fundraising goal tonight. I want to see this chat room, these messages blowing up. Please help us. This is so important. We've worked so hard for this, and we will not give up. We will not go down without a fight. President Trump has fought so hard for the American people, and Right Side Broadcasting Network will be here for him every single step of the way, left until November 3rd. Lily, this is one of your newer rallies. Is this the coldest rally you've been to so far? I don't want it to seem like we're complaining, but of course I want people to know what it's like to be here, and in a sense, what it's like for these people who waited hours. I mean, that's a really important factor of kind of showing the level of dedication that a lot of these people behind us have put in today to show their support for President Trump. It's not like you buy a ticket online and you have an assigned seat, you show up whenever you want, you walk right in. You show up hours early, just hoping and praying that you'll even be allowed inside. And then, of course, you have environmental factors, cold weather, winds. I know we're up north, they're probably used to it, but it's chilly. They could watch it from home. So why come out and wait in these lines? I mean, besides having just an intense love and admiration for the president.
Yeah,
it's cold, right?
It is. I mean, vendors have been out here all day setting up their vendors, setting up their tables with their merchandise. Police officers are out here, Secret Service is out here, private security is out here, media is out here, people helping around with the venue are out here. So we are doing our part to, be here for our president. We have a country to save, we have a job to do, but most importantly, for those that are not able to be here for various reasons, we want to be able to report to you real life how it is. So yes, this is my coldest rally. I can't feel my toes, but we are not really going to get to experience this, for the rest of our lives.
Right.
This is it. This is a real deal. We have a country to save. And I mean, the crowd is bundled up. They were totally prepared for this. And they're just excited to be here. I mean, yes, they're cold, but they're happy to be here. Who knows? This might be their very first President Trump rally. And for our viewers, we would love to engage with you in the comment section. Please go ahead and comment below. Have you ever attended a Trump rally? Have you attended a Trump rally in 2016 or this year? Let us know in the comments where that Trump rally was, when you went, or if you are going to any upcoming Trump rallies. We would love for you to come out and say hi, and we would love to say hi to you. So while I'm scrolling on the chat, I see that your super chats are coming in, and we love to give you all a spotlight and a shout out. So C. Clem says, Filipino Americans for Trump. Thank you so much for your super chat. Magical Trevor, God bless our GLORs, gorgeous ladies of Right Side. Thank you so much, Magical Trevor. We appreciate your super chat. Rolling with DJ Adam.tv says, Right Side Broadcasting is the best. Well, you are all the best because we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you for your super chat. Resolute, thank you so much for your super chat as well. Matthew Schubrock, thank you so much. Let's see, we are blowing up here. Thank you all so much for being here. Tempera1900 says, thank you, RSBN. Vote early for Trump. Now, Grace, do you want to tell the viewers who voted today?
Who voted today?
Who was it?
President Trump voted today, and he voted in person, you guys. I don't know if whoever's been watching my stream knows that I have been talking about this for weeks. We need to get out and vote in person. No vote by mail, you guys. Do whatever precautions you have to do. I know COVID's out there, but it's so important that you don't allow the Democrats to steal your vote. Don't let them ballot harvest and cheat the president out of rightfully winning in 2020.
I wonder who he voted for.
He voted for himself. There's a very cute little video. If you look it up, you look up President Trump at the poll in Florida. There's a reporter asking him, hey, President Trump, who did you vote for? And he goes, a guy named Trump. So he's just so funny. I thought that was so cute.
he never lets us down with a sense of humor. I mean, you have to have a sense of humor, especially now more than ever. So we do appreciate him voting in person. We also appreciate the person that he voted for. So
Yes, and I wasn't aware that presidents could actually vote for themselves, or like, I mean, obviously it makes sense, but it's just not something you think about every day. So yeah.
I mean, especially when we're in school and stuff, when we're working on, if they're like, if we're working on some kind of game or activity in class, we're like, oh, well, you can't vote for yourself. So I always thought that the sitting president, the current president, can't vote. That's just what I always thought. But hey, you learn a lesson every day, so.
MAGA 2020, keep America great. We're all going to get out there and vote. I've looked at a lot of early polling or early counting for voting, and most people seem to be voting by mail. And you guys, it's so important that we get out there in person. So I'll talk to you guys more about that later, but I'm going to go into some of the email donations from you guys. I love reading these so much. They're so fun. So thank you to Steve and Carla Gronenboom. Oh, that's a fun last name. Hashtag chumps for Trump. I don't know if you guys
about that today.
Yeah, we were just talking about that today because earlier Joe Biden was at an attempted rally in Pennsylvania, and he called people who are voting for the president chumps. So, it's so funny because every time the Democrats try to name call Trump supporters, it ends up backfiring on them in a big way. So.
I mean, every time Biden says something, he's creating a new Trump supporter, right?
Exactly.
Because what was the first, I can't even remember the first thing that he said, but first he's trying to take away people's black cards. You ain't black if you're having a hard time figuring out whether you're for me or for Trump. So now he's telling black Americans that you're not black if you don't vote for him. And then with the whole, what was the other thing that he said? There's chumps. There's you're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Liz knows what it is. We were talking about this earlier.
You're a fatty. And you're a junkie. So
we could go back to the Clinton era and talk about deplorables too. And it's just so funny. But we're gonna go on with the donation. So yes, Steve and Carla said, "Love you, RSB. We can always depend on you. Make America great again. Love you all. Thank you." From Cynthia Hackbush, RSBN is the greatest. You guys rock the rallies by showing the huge crowds. Keep up the good work. Pete and Cindy Hackbush from Beckworth, California. That's where I'm originally from, San Diego area in California. So we appreciate your support. Thank you to Joseph Berghoff. Thank you very much for what you're doing. God bless from Sun Lakes, Arizona. I love how many people there are across the country watching our rallies. It really warms my heart. And across the world, so yeah.
I've seen Brazil. I've seen Guatemala. Where else have I seen? Chile.
I've seen Ireland.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Canada, all over the place. Thank you to George Chizenko. I'm so sorry if I messed that up. Thank you to Sonia Peterson. We love our press. So do we. Thank you to Ken F. Trump 2020. Kim Delaney, thank you so much for all the work you have been doing for us to be able to be a part of this awesome movement, Trump 2020. I don't know about you guys, but I've been on a Trump rally marathon. Even when I'm not at Right Side reporting myself, I'm watching at home.
You can't miss out. You also don't know what you're going to miss. And my favorite part of the rallies is his grand entrance, obviously, but then also when he is leaving and he's just dancing his heart away. It's the cutest thing. It's the funnest thing ever. That funnest isn't a word, I know. But it's so fun just watching him, having fun, watching him being himself, and just sort of like dancing with the crowd and interacting with the crowd. I think he's a very people person, He'll point to you, he'll give you a thumbs up, he'll dance with you. It's awesome.
He loves the people and it shows.
For sure.
Thank you to Bruce Liu. Make America great again and again, forever. Thank you to Susan D. Trump, absolute best president ever. 100% agree with that. Thank you to Phil Fortin. Thank you RSBN for bringing us these rallies. MAGA. Thank you to Pete Jmont, I'm very sorry. Make America great again. Love your programming, very clear, and your people are professionals. Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you to Susan Brothers. Just found RSB Network, and you do the best job. Keep going. We need you on cable. Thanks for all you do. 100%. We definitely need to be on cable. Okay, and thank you to Earl Morrison. Thank you all at RSBN. What an awesome job so far in all the coverage. You all get me antsy and excited, waiting for the next President Trump rally. Oops, correction, peaceful protest. They certainly are peaceful protests. Some of them, they're not even called rallies, so peaceful protests. Thanks again. Keep it up. USA, 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 MAGA again. I love that so much. Okay. Thank you to Robert Milzar. Go Trump. Polacks for Trump. Power under God. Strong borders, strong military. Continue to drain the swamp. I am a veteran also. God bless the USA. God continue to heal the nation USA. Thank you for your service, Robert. Thank you to Diana Bland Hancock. We love RSBN and the brilliant, honest, and Christian news broadcasting that y'all present. We are Trump-Pence 2020 voters from 2016 and again on November 3rd, 2020. God bless our U.S. Constitution.
I love that.
I love the Constitution. I have.
The speaker on the stage came out yesterday. What state was I in yesterday? I don't know. And she was like talking about
Florida.
how she carries, Florida, Pensacola. She carries a pocket Constitution everywhere she goes. So I thought of you.
I probably gave it to her at a rally.
Probably.
God bless our U.S. Constitution, our military and law enforcement, our emergency personnel, President Trump, VP Pence, ... and God bless our USA. Booyah! Love that energy. What do you think, Liz?
It's awesome. I love the support. I'm hoping that we shatter some fundraising records today. We're very competitive, especially us three girls, with all of the other rallies that happened today. Again, the first one, not so great when it came to fundraising. Second one did pretty well. It's prime time, baby. This is President Trump's second primetime speech since the presidential debate 2 nights ago. I think he did phenomenal. Watched the whole thing. I think he was so composed, and I know that took a lot of self-restraint because, let's face it, he has a very dynamic personality, which we've all grown to know and love. But as far as the debate went, I think the first one, it was a lot to handle. Lots of back and forth, kind of hard to follow. This second one, he did so good, and it's all about him being a little more reserved so that Biden can wear himself out, which I think is exactly what happened. Towards the end, Biden lost his stamina, lost his train of thought. Who showed me the video of him? You. Talk about the video that you saw today of Joe Biden behind Jill.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
You'll have to check it out.
Y'all gotta go to Twitter and check this out because Joe Biden, again, he tried to hold a rally today.
Let's show them what it looked like. You be Jill. I'll be Biden.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Please vote for Joe Biden because he is the best candidate for the job. President Trump does not deserve to be on that stage because of the way he handled COVID. That was literally Joe Biden walking behind Jill Biden. He didn't even know what was going on, and it was so sad. And by the way, I'm so sorry I had to pretend to be Jill Biden and say all those awful things. I think President Trump handled COVID excellently, and he obviously deserves to win in 2020. So just to clarify.
I'm just here to see what the chat room has to say about that performance. I don't know if I want to look at it or not. Hopefully you guys are having fun with us. We're excited to be here. Oh, we'll see. 23,000 just watched the performance. Shall we be actresses? Let's see.
Like and share.
All right. Yes, like and share, like she said. We have some shout outs I want to give. We have a $5 donation from South DFW who said, Patriots in the word of the Lord. His spirit continues to live. Read his word, enjoy his spirit. Goontoon said LOL. Eddie H. Russell de Lima said, Sleepy Joe Biden is losing his mind. Michael thought we were funny.
Okay.
C. Clam said, I love seeing the energy, enthusiasm, unity, and patriotism at President Trump's rallies. God bless America, Trump, and God bless President Trump and God bless America. Let's see. Pam said she saw the video earlier today. So yeah, no, it's definitely worth watching. Selena and Dad donated, so thank you. Shout out to No Name, Angry Chica, so many of y'all in here. and we want to say thank you for supporting us. I also want to say thank you to our partners today over at iTarget. They've been incredible to work with. As you know, innocent people are falling victims of crime, intimidation, and are forced to fend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. Most of us don't have time consistently to train, plus let's face it, ammo is very expensive. That's why iTarget Pro was invented. They use a proprietary app and laser bullet, so you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your own actual firearm. iTarget comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay safe with almost any firearm. Today you can use code SAVE10, that's SAVE10, for 10% off plus free shipping. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. Again, targetpro.com. Use offer code SAVE10. Small mom and pop business that could use your support, so check them out. Such an incredible idea and tool to use, especially to stay sharp with your firearm skills. Check them out. Lily, looks like you're back with me. What's the chat room up to?
The chat room is awesome. Should we tell them our social media? Should we put that out there? Okay, you go first.
Okay. Hi, again, my name's Liz Willis. I have two beautiful and very intelligent co-hosts with me tonight. My social media is on Instagram at Liz Willis, LizWillis. And I'm also on Twitter at Liz Willis. Same thing, but with an underscore at the end, because Liz Willis was taken. So hopefully you'll follow me, message me, whatever you want to do. Happy to interact with you guys. And don't forget to follow Right Side Broadcasting Network as well. We're on Twitter and Instagram at RSB Network. We post a ton of behind the scenes, and anytime we get breaking news or rally announcements, we go there first. Lily, how can they find you online?
Thank you, Liz. And my name is Lilith. You keep calling me Lily, and it's okay because I read the chats and I see a lot of people trying to spell my name, and I love it. I've seen Lilette, I've seen Lilith, I've seen Lily, I've seen, I don't know what else I've seen, but if you want to know how to spell my name, it's Lilit, Lilith, and you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Teachers for Trump. That's teachers_for_Trump, because I am a public school teacher and I love to expose what our public school system looks like. I love to expose the indoctrination. So for you parents watching, you families watching, it's a really hard time right now. I think being shut down, I think with COVID, we have definitely been able to, I think parents have been able to see for themselves what's really taking place in our children's classrooms. So parents, it's real out there. I mean, the indoctrination, you guys, is really, really sickening. The things that, just go check out my page. I call out the teachers unions. These are the same teachers unions that don't want to go back to school. Wow, what a crazy concept. Let's get paid, but let's not go back to school. Some of the things I understand, but I'm not with it. I'm not down with it. The things that they are brainwashing your children with will floor you. They're teaching your children that police officers are murderers. Could you believe that? They're teaching your children that police officers are murderers trying to hunt down black people, and that police officers are white supremacists. That's hysterical, because just here in this rally, I've seen a ton of police officers that aren't white, and I guarantee you none of them are white supremacists. So the messages that they're teaching our kids, our children are the most vulnerable population, and you know, they're not really able to think for themselves per se at a certain level. So they look up to their teachers for guidance, and unfortunately our teachers are so brainwashed themselves and full of such hate and anger that they pass it down to their children in class. Go on, Teachers for Trump. I try to expose it all. And for those that do follow me, keep exposing what's happening with you. We get a lot of messages from teachers. We get a lot of messages from current students that say, hey, I don't know what to do. My teacher is singling me out, calling me a racist because I'm wearing a MAGA hat. So bring me those messages. I love to expose what's going on in our classrooms. So again, that's Teachers for Trump. My name is Lilith. It's Lilit. And Grace, is there anything else that you would like to add? Tell them your handle. Your social media. What did you say?
Oh, okay. Yes, hi you guys. So my name is Grace Saldana. So I work with a company called Freedom Wire News. I'm a writer, so I constantly am researching. That's, if you guys watch my live streams, I always have a lot of statistics and stuff. That's what I do. So you guys can check that out at freedomwire.com. And you guys can follow me on my personal social media at Grace Saldana, GraceSaldanaa. I'm on Twitter, Parler, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. So you guys can find me there. I work really hard every day to bring you guys the real news, just like Right Side Broadcasting does, just in a different way. I report on all the stories that the media won't tell you about. So quite frankly, they don't want to report on conservative news or just the facts. So I try to bring all those facts to you guys. And I especially have a passion for helping young girls who want to get into politics. So I run a page called The Republican Girl. You guys can find that everywhere. Yes. It's a vlog. So I am trying to educate people, and especially young girls who want to get involved in politics, on how to back up their arguments, give them all the resources they need. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm also very passionate, like you, about education and making sure that young people are not being indoctrinated, because it is a real issue and it's happening. Just because you guys don't go to school with your kids doesn't mean that they're teaching them all the right things when you're not around. It's very important. You gotta watch out for these sneaky union people who want to stuff all this critical race theory into the education system. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Grace. It really, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but it really wasn't this bad when I was in school. Was it this bad?
Me neither. But when I got out of high school and into my early years of college, I definitely started to see it like rise up a little bat, and now like they send us a form. So I'm still in college. They send us a form. It says pick your pronouns, and they make you sign it. So I write no pronouns and I sign it.
I identify as a giraffe. I identify as a unicorn today, but tomorrow. Yeah. Our cameraman will identify as a giraffe, but I'm 5'1", so I'm gonna identify as something else.
Makes you a deer.
But but no, it is really bad, and I'm telling you, these radical teachers. Let me put that in quotation marks. They call themselves teachers. These radical professors, radical teachers have infiltrated our public school system for many decades. I want to say, I think starting around the 60s and civil rights era, it really took a hit for kids in school. Some of our best teachers end up quitting because you come into school. I just want you to come to school one day and just observe for 30 minutes. We're turning into babysitters because we don't have the time to teach our content, because you have to incorporate LGBT. You have to incorporate he, she, her, they, ze, zit. You have to incorporate all this stuff, and then maybe you'll be able to teach your content. On top of that, you have to deal with such crazy behavior issues in our schools. I kid you not. Our kids run the school. Our kids run the building. These parents tell us what grades to give your kids. So the responsibility from the teachers, us, it's gone down. Parents, my best advice to you is please be involved. Please be involved in your child's education. Please be involved contacting the school administration. If you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something, because they're targeting the most vulnerable population, that is your children. And President Donald J. Trump, my man, is the first president to support school choice. So what does school choice mean? That means that the funds follow the child instead of the zip code. So let's say Grace lives in Southside Chicago. She doesn't have to be stuck in a school that's not meeting her educational needs. The funds would follow her to another public school, a private school, a charter school, or even homeschool. So that's just something that I love to talk about because I'm in the system and I know all this information, and I want you to know that there are conservative teachers like me, and we are rooting for your kids, and we do have high standards for your children. We want for them to be able to graduate high school knowing how to read. Ladies, I kid you not. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Are you ready? High schoolers are graduating with a 1.3 GPA, third grade reading level, no critical thinking skills. But Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, but they can't read. Black Lives Matter to our school administration, but they're allowing these kids, they're failing these kids. They're handing them a diploma. Oh, you walk across the stage in June, here's your diploma. No one cares that you can't read. Nobody cares that you haven't had any critical thinking skills. Nobody cares that you don't know how many pennies are in $1. I'm not making this up. I had a student in high school who did not know how many pennies are in $1. I said, come on. I said, how many pennies are in $1? Just tell me. He goes, I don't know, 60 something. I said, 60 what? Give me a definitive answer. I don't know, bruh, 60 something. I said, okay, well, I refuse to let you leave this classroom not knowing that there are 100 pennies in $1. I feel bad for the kids. That's why I'm here. That's why I teach them. I refuse to quit. I have the best intentions for these kids. President Donald J. Trump has the best interest for the families and their children as well. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you needed an extra reason to vote for him. So with that being said, I want to again remind you of our partner of the day. Grace, want to do that? All right, I got it. Here we go. So just remind you of our partner of the day because they are absolutely incredible. They work with us and we do appreciate all of your support. Our partner of the day is iTarget. Innocent people are falling victim to crime, intimidation, and are forced to fend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. But most of us don't have time to consistently train, plus ammo is really expensive. Seriously. That's why iTarget Pro was invented. Using their proprietary app and laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. iTarget comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Today, you can get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code SAVE10. That's SAVE 10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days of practice. Again, that's the letter I, targetpro.com, itargetpro.com, offer code SAVE10, and ladies, get your concealed carry. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, so now we're going to jump into some donations. I think we're going to go into the super chats because I actually have a service today, so I'm very excited to talk to you guys. Let's see. So just a few minutes ago, we got a $300 cash donation from a man named Dusty Blue. So sweet, you guys. Warms my heart. Thank you so much, Dusty. I told him I would shout him out on camera. He's going to be in Nebraska, so very excited to see him again. Let's see here. Thank you to Scott A. Howe. The thought of Sleepy Joe winning this election makes me nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Wow, I like that expression. I'm gonna use that again.
Make that phrase great again.
Make that phrase great again. Yes.
I'm slowly creeping back over here.
Okay. we're Eskimos right now. Yes, it's a bit chilly. Liz, would you like to?
Yes. I want to say thank you so much. We have 31,000 people watching right now. We would love to see that number with 100 in front of it, 130,000. Pretty ideal. This is President Trump. So make sure you're sharing this stream with all your friends and family. It's super easy. Just copy and paste the link to your Facebook. This is going to be a huge rally tonight. This is going to be big time battleground state for the 2020 presidential election. It's really important that President Trump sees his audience here tonight, sees that support, and that the supporters here see each other and they know that they're not alone. They continue to carry on with that enthusiasm and get out and cast their votes. You can't sit idly by and think that your vote doesn't matter. This is the time. I don't care when you have to do it. Lunch break, right before bed, when you're feeling tired. Do not make excuses. Go out, vote. Vote early in your state, however you have to do it, figure it out. There are so many websites and different resources that'll help you explain it depending on where you live. So there's truly no excuse. It's 2020. Make your vote count. Let it be heard. Also, Right Side Broadcast Network is almost entirely viewer funded. That is a huge contrast to mainstream media and any other large news outlets that have investors, commercial breaks, everything else for that matter. When it comes to President Trump's speeches, you maybe get 5 seconds of it clipped, edited, and kind of spun on how they want you to think, especially regarding individual topics. The goal for tonight's speech is to really play the duration of it. We're not going to interrupt a single time during any of the speakers, but especially not President Trump's speech. So you can listen to the whole thing, figure out what he's talking about here in Wisconsin. He normally, for each rally state, kind of chooses a little bit more topics sensitive to that area, to where he is. So it really is interesting, and these rallies change with every single city and state that we go to. None of them are all the same. So it's important to really, to have a good idea on what's going on all over the country. Watch President Trump's rallies, watch them on RSBN, and if you want to donate, there are a couple of ways you can donate. People are asking, how do I get shouted out on air? I see y'all doing it to other people. There are a number of ways, and it's so easy. We shout out the donations, so you can donate via the YouTube Super Chat, which is really easy. It's a live chat function on your computer or your cell phone. If you have the YouTube app, sign in, just type away. You don't even have to donate to utilize the app, the live chat function, but to donate if you wish to, there's a $sign in the bottom right-hand corner, so you'll just click that $sign, donate absolutely any amount. We are all checking our phones. If you see us looking down, we're not ignoring you or being rude. We don't have a teleprompter. We have nothing in front of us except a black iris of a camera. So we are giving you shout outs, trying to interact, answer your questions. If you have questions, tag us, reach out to us on social media. We've got all of the apps running on our phone simultaneously. We're here on the ground for you guys. We want to answer your questions. We want to be your eyes and ears. The second way you can donate is via our website. That's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, check out our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And that is done through PayPal. So it's a tried, true, and trusted source. We actually get to keep 90% of those proceeds, and we appreciate every single dollar that you can spare right now to help get us to finish this election cycle and to cover every single President Trump rally. We pan these crowds like no one else. It's remarkable. The third way is a non-electronic option, so you can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So just to reiterate, those three main donation ways are the YouTube Super Chat, our website, and by sending a check. This is game time, babies. We gotta finish it. President Trump allegedly walked off stage, looked at his staff after the presidential debate and said, let's finish this. And that is my mindset for the next 10 days. Let's finish it.
Just finish it. We need to make sure that we get out the vote, you guys. And here in Wisconsin, I believe voter registration is actually open until October 31st. So you guys still got a few days here, and I kind of want to talk about what's going on here on the grounds and how Wisconsin voted in 2016. So in 2016, Waukesha County, which is where we are right now, Trump won that by 60%, and Hillary Clinton lost at 33% of the vote, which is very minuscule compared to how much the president won this county. So we expect it to, sorry, I have static all over my hair right now. We expect him to win this county again. Sorry.
I know, right?
It's the cold and the dryness just does this to you. But the thing is that in Wisconsin is a swing state, and that's well known. However, in 2016, President Trump won Wisconsin by 0.77%. So that's a very, very slim margin, but it's looking really good here so far. And while they have Biden up in the polls by 6 points, we have people waving to us. Hi! They have gloves that say USA. I love that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, the camera zooming in on them. Hey guys. So this is Wisconsin for Trump. I don't see how the president could lose this state, especially after all the president has done for farmers. The president actually just pledged, I believe, $13 billion to farmers just a few weeks ago, and that is in combination with lots of other grants the federal government has come up with for farmers here in the state. So it looks like the president is winning favor with them, and we have a massive crowd here. It's still filling in, but all around there are people. There's a sea of red hats and winter coats. So yeah, it's a bit chilly out here, but the president is set to win this, and this is actually the home state of the GOP. The GOP was actually founded here famously in 1854. So it's actually surprising that this is such a swing state, because since year 2000, it's actually voted about 80% Democrat, which is, I just find that so surprising for such a rural state and for so many farmers here voting Democrats. But anyway, it turned red for Trump in 2016, and it's going to turn red for Trump again in 2020. But yeah, so Waukesha County is the third most populous county, and since the early voting started and mail-in voting, they've already hit 37% of the people who voted 4 years ago. So they're nearing 50% of all the voters who have came out in 2016, and they're expecting a record turnout in all states, honestly, because throughout the nation, as of yesterday, don't quote me of today's exact numbers, but as of yesterday, 35 million Americans have already voted in the 2020 election. So it's looking really, really good for the president and in Wisconsin. So to break it down, the president won 60 counties and Hillary won 12 counties. And in the 60 counties that the president won, voter registration has doubled since the past 4 years. So Wisconsin actually does not talk about party preference. So they don't count voters as in, like, for example, the Republicans gained this amount of voters. They don't do it like that. They don't define Republican versus Democrat. So all we know is that there is an influx in new registrations since the last 4 years in the counties that the president won. So that's looking very promising, very, very excited. And I don't know, a lot of people seem to be conflicted on how long the election is going to take to actually count, but there's such a high voter turnout and so much enthusiasm for this campaign that I don't see how it can take weeks to count the votes, because they're already getting them in at record numbers. And you know, look at this rally. There's thousands of people here, and Joe Biden held a rally yesterday and today and the day before, but he can't pull a crowd of more than 300 people. He had a drive-in rally, and I think that's a very good indicator of like what each president represents. Joe Biden is holding drive-in rallies and because of COVID, and having people honk instead of clap, and people can't gather. That's exactly the kind of society we would have if America elected Joe Biden, and we don't want that. Do you guys really want to be shut down for another year, possibly going into 2022, and all these lockdowns and shutdowns? And look, the Democrats are already perpetuating this madness, and they won't reopen their states until after the election. What's going to stop them from extending it again if Joe Biden wins? Nothing's going to stop them. We want to reopen our country. The president wants to reopen the country. He's made that very, very clear. He has done everything to combat COVID. And the fact that the Democrats keep saying that he has not done anything to combat COVID is absolutely ludicrous. He literally pioneered a massive effort to get
Hi friends, Father Frank Pavone here of Priests for Life. There is nothing like a Trump rally, and it fires us up to help the president. So I want to urge you to go to armyfortrump.com today. There's so much you can do, being a digital activist, making phone calls, knocking on doors. Be a part of the biggest presidential campaign in American history. armyfortrump.com. Go there today, and remember, support Right Side Broadcasting.
Calling victims of crime, intimidation, and forced defend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option, but most of us don't have time to consistently train, plus ammo is really expensive.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Why are we treating each other like this? It tears me up.
An alarming attack in Fall River. That man beaten, and he says it was because he supports President Trump. Police did arrest the person they believe is responsible. They also charged the man. 7's Kimberly Bookman live in Fall River with this interview you'll only see here.
Kim, this victim is known around town. He often comes out here with his Trump poster. He says people beep their horns, they wave at him. But Tuesday, it was a different story. From the car bumper sticker to the posters in his back seat, as well as the hat on his head, it's clear Charlie Chase is a Trump supporter. Because of that, police say he was the victim of a political hate crime. Talking about it, the 82-year-old gets emotional.
I think it comes from the love I have for the country. And why are we treating each other like this? It tears me up.
Chase tells 7 News he was holding up a Trump sign at this Fall River Rotary Tuesday when a driver stopped in his tracks.
He started kind of like saying real nasty things and jumped out of the car. Give me that sign.
Police say 27-year-old Aiden Courtwright ripped up the poster, then violently attacked the senior citizen.
The guy jumped at me and he lifted me up, but then body slammed me.
While Chase was on the ground, witnesses reported seeing Courtwright kick him in the ribs and legs with pointed shoes, then drive off. They took his license plate number, police tracked him down, and arrested him.
I just want America to get back to being America again. And I want both parties to stop that dividing of people.
Chase served in the Air Force in the 50s. He's seen a lot, but says this experience was unlike anything else he's experienced.
This is the worst one I've ever seen. That guy's eyes in his face. I mean, it was so scary.
And a judge released the suspect today, ordering him to stay away from the victim, turn over all of his guns, and not do anything political. Reporting live from Fall River, Kimberly Bookman, 7 News.
Communism in reality, it reveals a condition akin to disease that spreads like an epidemic.
The president just said burning the flag should be illegal. And it is a protected constitutional right.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country.
You have released the whirlwind.
If this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system.
Their goal is the overthrow of our government.
The controversial Teddy Roosevelt statue many see as an insult.
We're tearing this statue down.
Destroying property which can be replaced is not violence.
They are seeking to weaken America.
They are erasing everything.
I don't care if it's a George Washington statue.
Like an epidemic.
We have an incredible opportunity.
Quarantine is necessary.
To fundamentally transform the country.
Transforming the United States of America.
To keep it from infecting this nation.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Democrats are currently, and have been for the past 10 years or so, arguing that things that haven't happened have happened, and vice versa. And the biggest example of that right now is the cities on fire, Portland, the defunding of the police, all of these things. And the idea that when the federal government, which is President Trump, he's the head of the executive, but these men are career service people. So they work at the ATF and DHS, and they are career people. They would go in, whether it was Obama sending them, which, by the way, he would have done, or President Trump, and they're going in to protect these federal courthouses and federal buildings and monuments. And they're doing that because it's the right thing to do. They're just following orders from the executive, of course, but they're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And to say if they're not doing it because of that, or that they're harming protesters, or that they're executing some kind of like military takeover, that's not true. It's just like the child who argues, I've not had any ice cream today. Oh, you don't love me anymore. Yeah, I do love you, and you already had a huge bowl of ice cream, and you're not getting any more. You're probably going to need a nap because you seem a little, delusional right now, but I love you so much. It's like that, only these are grown-ups. These people are damaging property. They are destroying beautiful cities in America, and they're killing people, little kids. That's what the two operations that the president has currently launched. They're named after 2 children who were killed by these rioters and protesters. They were arguing in Congress over, with Attorney General Barr, over whether or not he should be able to use pepper spray and tear gas on protesters who are hurling slingshots with bags of ball bearings and screws in them. They're literally cutting these federal officers to the bone. They're blinding them with lasers. The idea that there's right and wrong and that wrong should be prosecuted, that's at stake.
Things were not peaceful last night. A man was shot and killed last night as riots broke out near East Lake Street and Bloomington Avenue.
The owner of a nearby business is now under arrest, and WCCO's Jennifer Merrily spoke with people who were there as their traumatic night took a deadly turn.
Hector Hernandez captured the unrest as it unfolded in front of his restaurant.
I start seeing like thousands of people just running around. Next thing you know, we have like probably 100 people banging on the windows, throwing rocks.
Somewhere in the chaos, shots rang out.
I didn't know what to do.
Abby Baires and her employees heard the unmistakable sound.
I was like, what's happening? All of a sudden, this man's just running over here and he just collapsed right there in the corner.
We're told a business owner on East Lake Street had opened fire.
It went out of control. So I could understand his fear and his pain, knowing that he's about to lose everything that he's worked for so many years. This is not how it should have been.
People watched as officers started CPR on the seemingly lifeless man.
They didn't want to let it go. They was keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. I never seen nothing like that in my life, never.
The aftermath, the glass, the debris still on the ground. A reminder of the rioting and another life lost. Abby says her friend George Floyd would not have wanted any of this.
My business is going to get replaced. People are still going to come here when all this is over. But to witness another black man die right here and fighting for his life, which is what the opposite of what we want justice for.
In South Minneapolis, Jennifer Merrily, WCCO 4 News.
The name of the man killed has not yet been released. Police arrested a suspect, but he has not been charged.
This is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop, and they should not.
These people are tearing up our livelihood.
Third straight night, Portland police declared a riot.
The vast majority of the protest has been peaceful.
Over the weekend, 59 officers injured and 47 people arrested.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing a proposal to cut $1 billion from the New York City Police Department.
We need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
Won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
David Dorn is not a name on the lips of our leaders this week. It should be. Dorn served his community for almost 40 years as a police officer. Even after he retired, he continued to help others. Last weekend, Dorn was in St. Louis trying to protect a friend's store from looters, and he was murdered for doing it. This country ought to remember Dorn. He represents the best of America. Instead, his name has been shoved down the memory hole. The media would like him forgotten immediately so they can go back to inflaming hateful violence across our nation. We should not let that happen. He was not the only victim, by the way, of these riots, and not the only victim who has been forgotten. We think that's a shame. On Twitter, former White House speechwriter Darren Beattie, and good for him, has been keeping track of the casualties of this rioting, and we want to read some of them to you because it's important to remember people who've been killed. More than just one, many. David Patrick Underwood was a Federal Protective Service officer in California. A week ago, he was shot to death. We don't know who killed him. He was protecting a federal building in Oakland. One of his colleagues was also critically injured in that shooting. Italia Marie Kelly was just 22 years old. She was attending a George Floyd-related protest in Davenport, Iowa. She became uncomfortable with the direction of that protest, understandably. She got in her car to leave, and she was killed by a stray bullet, shot dead. Jose Gutierrez was a bystander. He was watching as others looted the Chicago suburb of Cicero. For being there, he was shot in the head and killed by this man, Zion Haygood. That's what police say. Another victim in Cicero, Illinois was Victor Cesares Jr. He was 27. He was shot to death outside a grocery store. No one remembers his name. We should. In Minneapolis, Francisco Montiel, who was 46, was found dead next to a burned-out car. Police attributed his death to, quote, complex homicidal violence. That's obvious. He was a casualty of the riots. At least 3 people were murdered during the violence in Indianapolis. One of them was 38-year-old former Indiana football player Chris Beatty. He was found shot to death just outside his apartment. An unnamed Latino man in his 20s was also killed on Sunday in Los Angeles in an area that was completely demolished by rioters. And of course, those are just the ones who were killed. Probably not an exhaustive list. If you know more, please send them to us. Thousands have been hurt, maimed, financially ruined, brain damaged over the past week. Dozens of those are police officers. They were injured trying to protect the public. One of them is Las Vegas police officer Shea McLanis. He was shot during the riot on Monday. The man who shot him says it was an accident. He was just trying to scare away rioters. We don't know the truth, but the man took a bullet to the head, the police officer did. Every one of those people deserves to be remembered. But instead, again, they are forgotten, and they're forgotten on purpose. The press would like these protests to go down in history as mostly peaceful. They're not, and they're not in part because CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, and many others have been inflaming racial tensions around the country. They're inciting violence. They don't care about the consequences. The rest of us should care. Those are human beings, they're Americans, and now they're gone. And you know who did it? The people on our streets. They should be held accountable for what they did.
Hello, my name is Ann Dorn. I'd like to introduce you to my husband, David, father of 5, brother of 12, grandfather of 10, friend to thousands. He was the most kind, dedicated, loving life partner I could have hoped for. He had a big smile and a heart to match. He was blessed with the gift of gab, and that gift enabled him to touch souls and inspire people, especially young people. Oh, how kids loved him, and they really loved him back. Dave was all about service. He served 38 years in the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and 6 years as Chief of Police as the Moline Acres Police Department. After 44 years, he retired from law enforcement, but he never retired from helping a friend in need. Since he befriended every person he met, he was a very busy man. One example of that was his friendship with a young man named Lee. David met him when Lee was just a kid, after members of his family were attacked and murdered. Dave took a special interest in the boy. They bonded, and their friendship grew and remained strong throughout the years. Lee eventually opened a pawn shop. He trusted Dave implicitly and asked Dave to help with security. David readily agreed. Whenever the shop's alarm would go off, the alarm company called Dave. He would investigate. If he got a call after I went to bed, he would wake me up and tell me he was going to Lee's, just to make sure everything was all right. Most of the time they were false alarms, triggered by a storm or animals. But I never rested easily until I heard Dave's key turn in the door, knowing he was home safe. The alarm that went off the morning of June 2nd was for real. It was a violent night in St. Louis. 4 officers were shot. Others were hit with rocks and fireworks. At least 5 businesses were damaged, looted, or set on fire. As the Officer Wellness Coordinator and CIT Coordinator with the police department, I was keenly aware of the rioting and spent the evening getting ready to mobilize support for officers who were impacted. After I'd gone to bed, David received a call from Lee's alarm company. The front door of the pawn shop had been breached. This time he didn't wake me up to tell me. He probably knew I would have tried to stop him or insist on going with him. As I slept, looters were ransacking the shop. They shot and killed David in cold blood, and then live streamed his execution and his last moments on earth. David's grandson was watching the video on Facebook in real time, not realizing he was watching his own grandfather dying on the sidewalk. I learned of all this around 4 a.m. when our doorbell rang. The chief of police was standing outside. I wondered why Dave had not answered the door. It wasn't uncommon for him to be up watching TV at this time. I called out to him several times. There was no reply. He just wasn't there. I let in the chief, and fighting back tears, he uttered the words every officer's spouse dreads. I relive that horror in my mind every single day. My hope is that having you relive it with me now will help shake this country from this nightmare we are witnessing in our cities and bring about positive, peaceful change. How do we get to this point where so many young people are callous and indifferent towards human life? This isn't a video game where you can commit mayhem and then just hit reset and bring all the characters back to life. David is never coming back to me. He was murdered by people who didn't know and just didn't care. He would have done anything to help them. Violence and destruction are not legitimate forms of protest. They do not safeguard Black lives. They only destroy them. President Trump understands this, has offered federal help to restore order in our communities. In a time when police departments are short on resources and manpower, we need that help. We should accept that help. We must heal before we can affect change, but we cannot heal amid devastation and chaos. President Trump knows we need more Davids in our communities, not fewer. We need to come together in peace and remember that every life is precious.
Everything we have achieved is now in danger, and this election will decide whether we will defend the American way of life or whether we will allow a radical movement to completely dismantle and destroy it. If the left gains power, they will demolish the suburbs. Make no mistake, if you give power to Joe Biden, the radical left will defund police departments all across America. They will make every city look like Democrat-run Portland. No one will be safe in Biden's America. There is violence and danger in the streets of many Democrat-run cities throughout America. This problem could easily be fixed if they wanted to. We must always have law and order. If the Democrat Party wants to stand with anarchists, agitators, rioters, looters, and flag burners, that is up to them. Your vote will decide whether we protect law-abiding Americans or whether we give free rein to violent anarchists and agitators and criminals who threaten our citizens. As long as I am president, we will defend the absolute right of every American citizen to live in security, dignity, and peace.
I still ain't heard from the mayor. Incredibly, Donald Trump called me. The President of the United States called me today and talked to me today.
What did he say?
He gave his condolences, and me, I'm not a political guy, so I'm not, but I told him, I didn't know nobody like you. I'm real. I said, don't nobody like you, but on this camera, I tell you right now, Donald Trump called me, and he didn't have to call me. He didn't have to do nothing.
Darling, somebody just moved next door. Who is it? It's a representative of Antifa. She will look at her husband and say, darling, we're out of here. Remember, they were trying to blame other people. They don't like to mention the name Antifa. I said it's Antifa, and I was right. They're bad people. And you know what? They have to pay a price for the damage and for the horror that they've caused. They have to pay a price. A lot of them now are wealthy. You know, they're like these wealthy, spoiled kids that have no clue about life. They've got arms that are about this big, but they wear heavy jackets. And you look, you say, oh, that guy looks tough. And then the jacket comes off, and you see these two little. Then they go home, and they live in a basement, too, their mom and dad's basement.
I'm a husband. I'm a father. And I'm a proud police officer. I'm passionate about what I do. That's the way I feel about it. And when you enjoy doing it, it's not work. And that's why I enjoy doing it. It's a huge honor when I put on that badge and defend neighbors and community from evil that would victimize them. I live in the same community I work in. I police in the neighborhoods that I live in. My kids play on the same streets as everybody else who I work for. And I really want people to get that, to understand that we're not police separate from our cities, from our counties, from our state, from our country. It's police as part of and an essential part of our community. Back in 2017, I was on patrol and I encountered a homeless lady. Her name was Crystal. Initially, when I went up to talk to her, I saw that she was shooting up drugs, and I was planning on giving her a citation or arresting her for that. I kind of like stopped my mid-police officer spiel, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you pregnant? She breaks down crying right in front of me. Got into a conversation with her. Could see how amazing of a person she was through all of the addiction, through the homelessness that she had fallen into. Her plea that she was looking for someone to adopt her unborn baby. I mean, once she was talking about that, I didn't feel like I had a choice. I told her that my family would adopt her baby if that's what she wanted. We were sitting at the hospital. Her body was full of meth and heroin, and she was going through horrible withdrawals and in pain and agony. I remember holding her close and telling her how beautiful she was, and then telling her that, I know that you're going through so much pain, but I have so much hope for you. There's so much hope for what's ahead. And that's why I named my daughter Hope. Now Crystal is living an amazing life. She's helping other addicts in her career now, and then obviously Hope is a beautiful, thriving, almost 3-year-old, and that's our story.
You embody the goodness of our nation. Thank you.
If people think that I'm the only cop in America who's ever gone and done something like this, I've got news for them. There are stories like this that are more profound out there. Every time someone speaks up in support of the police, it means a lot to us because we don't hear it. There's a majority of Americans that don't want to defund the police, that don't want to get rid of police. And at some point, they're going to have to stop being the silent majority, and they're going to have to be the speaking up majority. That's the American story, isn't it? That we have hope, that even though we're in dark days now, or we've had dark days behind us, that the days ahead hold greater possibilities because of the opportunities that we've been given in our country.
Antifa is destroying our communities, rioting, looting. Yet Joe Biden kneels down and his staff sends money for bail. And Biden fails to stand up to the radical leftists fighting to defund and abolish the police. With Biden kneeling to the left, we'd have chaos in the streets. President Trump is standing up for us, keeping our communities safe, protecting minority-owned businesses, and always standing for our flag.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
How I feel about certain policies and things that have been going on recently, I would say come on the front lines. Come get in a car with 2 officers that are driving around that have to respond to certain radio runs that require the police there. However they want to allocate that money whatever programs they want to come up with, some of them we might welcome. However, at the end of the day, when things go a certain type of way, you need the police there to protect not only the public, to protect the people that might need help, but also to protect ourselves. And unfortunately, I think that in some type of way that has gone askew, and they feel that we go there again with the intentions of hurting people, and I just don't think that's the case at all. I do not feel that defunding the police is something that is rational. I feel that if you want to have conversations with the police, if you want to have conversations with the people that you're talking about, as opposed to just making policy and actually giving us a voice so we can come to some sort of dialogue and understanding, that would be helpful. I feel police officers across this country have been left voiceless in a lot of ways to the current conditions and to the policy that's being created. And I feel Joe Biden needs to vocalize the fact that police officers do have a voice in this country as well.
You have reached the 911 police emergency line. Due to defunding of the police department, we're sorry, but no one is here to take your call. If you're calling to report a rape, please press 1. To report a murder, press 2. To report a home invasion, press 3. For all other crimes, leave your name and number, and someone will get back to you. Our estimated wait time is currently 5 days. Goodbye.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Under the Obama and Biden administration, we know that administration rolled out the red carpet for illegal immigration. What that means is that the law enforcement agents on the borders were not allowed to do their job. Through policies that they implemented, our law enforcement agents were not allowed to conduct arrests, they were not allowed to conduct investigations, and unfortunately that encouraged more illegal immigration. And when you encourage more illegal immigration, that means that you put more lives at risk on both sides of the border. Under the Obama and Biden administration, there was a lot of policies that were implemented. For example, catch and release. Catch and release is something that was very prevalent during the Obama years. Under catch and release, a lot of people that were coming across the border illegally were pretty much just giving themselves up, and they were being released into the United States with no real court date. We know that the same thing was about to happen and was happening under the Trump administration, but because of the agreements that President Trump reached with these countries in Mexico and Central America, we were able to stop catch and release. As of right now, catch and release is a thing of the past. Under the Obama and Biden administration, several policies were implemented. For example, law enforcement agents along the border were not allowed to board different vessels. For example, they couldn't check different transportation buses that were coming from the border into the United States. What that means is that these buses were not inspected fully. And unfortunately, again, that causes and encourages illegal immigration. That means that these people have a open door policy to come into the United States and to not respect our laws. And if these illegal border crossers are not respecting our immigration laws, that means that more than likely they will not respect other laws here in the United States. So for law enforcement agents along the border, I've never seen morale so high as it is now under President Trump. And the morale is so high because President Trump is doing so much for them. He's supporting law enforcement. And by supporting law enforcement, our agents are much more safer when they're doing their job. When our law enforcement agents have the available resources and the resources that they need, that means that they can go home at the end of their shifts without risking their lives. Unfortunately, under a radical left Biden administration, that's something that Hispanics do not align with. If you think of the Hispanic community, we are very conservative. We attend church. We fear God. Those are not the values of the left liberal Democrats. So if Joe Biden is going to be leaning more to the radical liberal side, that means that he's not aligning with the Hispanic community. And I think as Hispanics, we'll be able to trust President Trump, continue to trust him, and that's why we'll support President Trump over Joe Biden. So unfortunately, I think what's been happening is that Joe Biden has been pandering to the left. He's been pandering to whatever fits their agenda. Yeah, we do know that Biden supported the 1994 crime bill, and unfortunately that did target a lot of minorities, especially the black community. And now that he's leaning more to the left, I think he is going to be losing the support of the Hispanics and the support of the black community. So unfortunately, a lot of the great work that President Trump has done and his policies within his administration, unfortunately, has been misinterpreted because of the hidden political agendas. We know that a lot of people on the left, a lot of the Democrats have attacked President Trump on his policies, but it's all because of the hidden political agendas. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even call them hidden agendas because they're so open about what they want to do. And unfortunately, the great work that President Trump has been doing has been, overshadowed by these radicals and these liberals that are attacking our nation. So I think it's important for people to actually take a close look into those issues, become informed, and know what is actually happening. Don't be driven by your emotions. Don't be driven by those headlines out there. Make sure that you inform yourself on the actual topics so that you become a knowledgeable voter and that you become engaged within your country. So we know that many times these people that are actually hiring the services of smugglers, where it's not really hiring because they really don't have a choice but to go through these drug cartels, many times they cannot pay in advance. So unfortunately, these people are indebted to these criminal organizations, and they have to pay back in some way of forced labor or be forced into this sex trade in the United States. So those are all different ways that these people that are coming to the United States are being victimized. Thanks to President Trump and his efficiency on the border, he's been able to save lives on both sides of the border. We're talking about saving lives of those people that are victimized in the United States, but also those people that are seeking a better life. They also get victimized by the drug cartels, and many do not make it safely to the United States. So under President Trump's policies, he's been saving lives. So law enforcement agents along the border will typically experience many smuggling events. This means that multiple people will come across the border illegally. Many of them will get apprehended, but then a lot of them will also make it into the country successfully. That means that they've evaded apprehension, that they've evaded detection. We know many times that a lot of these illegal border crossers make it into what's known as stash houses. These are houses where a lot of these border crossers are held here in the United States on U.S. soil. They are held in the United States, and then they are smuggled further into the country. We know that that's something that happens on a daily basis. We know that this country has a lot of illegal border crossers, and that's why the policies under the Trump administration are very, very important. Well, what we need to do as a country is that we need to discourage illegal immigration. We need to make sure that we send a loud message that illegal border crossers are not welcome in this country for their safety and for the safety of our U.S. citizens. That's a very strong message that has to go out to these illegal border crossers and to these cartels. Now, the only way we'll be able to stop as a country these smuggling cartels is by, for example, building the wall along the border to make sure that our law enforcement agents along the border have the proper resources, that they have the proper access roads, that they have proper night vision equipment, that they have camera trucks that can detect people in the middle of the night and along the desert. Those are the type of resources that law enforcement agents on the border need so that they can do their job and keep us safe every single day. What people need to keep in mind here in the United States is that what happens on the border does not stay on the border. We have to understand that all those border crossers and all those drugs that do come across the border don't stay on the border. They'll end up hurting our communities in different states across the United States. They'll make their way to our schools, to our communities, to our family members, to our neighbors, and that's what's going to have a very bad impact on our lives. So we have to make sure that we understand as United States citizens that these problems on the border are very real and that affect us on a daily basis, even as far as New York, even as far as Montana, you name it. Those problems on the border, those illegal crossers, those dangerous drugs will make their way to those communities. I hope that as a country we come together, that our elected leaders, not only in Congress, but in our school boards, in our city councils, in our county commissioners, that all elected officials actually come together as a nation, as a community, and bring us together, and that we stop the and that we stop the language that's dividing our nation, the language that's dividing our communities. I hope and pray that all of those elected leaders do that they actually come together and that they bring us as a society, as a community together, and that we stop dividing our nation. Be it in our neighborhoods, in our churches, in our schools, we need to come together as a nation. And I remain hopeful that with God's blessings and with President Trump's re-election, we'll be able to accomplish that.
The southern end of our ranch is the international boundary, and I have over 200 trails from Mexico. It's drug packers.
We don't need a wall. It's about providing a clear roadmap to citizenship for 11 million undocumented aliens.
Yes, We will build the wall. We've already started.
Someday we will have a form of security like everybody else.
And beyond all of that, throughout all of the last 3.5 years, this president and this administration have stood with the men and women of law enforcement, and we will stand with them every day. You know, President Trump and I know that the men and women who serve in law enforcement are the best of us. They put their lives on the line every single day. They literally count our lives as more important than their own. And they deserve the respect of every American. Now, to be clear, any incident involving the police use of force will always be thoroughly investigated, but there is no excuse for the rioting and looting that we have seen in Kenosha and in cities across the country. And this violence against civilians, against property, and against law enforcement must stop, and it must stop now. Now, President Trump and I will always support the right of Americans to peaceful protest. But rioting and looting is not peaceful protest. Burning businesses is not free speech. And those who do so will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. That's why President Trump took action just a few days ago. We sent 200 federal law enforcement officers into Kenosha. Working with the National Guard and local law enforcement, we quelled the violence. Under this president, I promise you, we will have law and order in every city in this country for every American of every race and creed and color. So help us God.
And we're back. Just saw all those ads from President Trump, but something that's so good about his campaign is that they get those ads out so fast. As soon as something happens, the ad is out, and that just shows how great of a team he has. And Joe Biden really doesn't have that good of a team. They're not good at getting things out very fast. But anyway, President Trump is set to get here very soon. I don't have an exact timeline, but it's going to be very shortly. So I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, iTarget. Innocent people are falling victim to crime, intimidation, and forced to fend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option, but most of us don't have time to consistently train, plus the ammo is really expensive. That's why iTarget Pro was invented, and using their proprietary app and laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. iTarget comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Today, you can get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code SAVE10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days of practice. That's the letter itargetpro.com, itargetpro.com, offer code SAVE10. And so now we're gonna go into some donations very quickly. And I just wanted to give out to, so some of you don't know this, but my family is actually originally from Wisconsin, and I was able to see some of my family last night. So I wanted to say hello to my great aunt, Rosemary Pavish, and my family, the Youngbloods, and the other Pavishes, Dan and Kathy, and Jack and Alicia, and Peggy and Rob Youngblood. I am so excited to have saw you guys yesterday, and thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting Right Side Broadcasting. And so now I'm going to hand it off to Lilith. She's going to tell you guys a little bit about Armenia.
Yeah, so actually first I want to talk about law enforcement before I go into Armenia, because as you saw, those ads were about law enforcement, and You see that awesome flag behind me, that thin blue line flag behind me. That blue line resembles our police officers, our law and order, our SWAT team, our security, our private security. I mean, everybody that proudly wears their badge to defend this country. That blue line would not exist if the American flag keeps us safe, and that blue line flag also ensures our safety in this country. So I want to give a special shout out to all of our law enforcement officers out there. We thank you. We love you. America appreciates you. America prays for you. America absolutely thanks your service inside and out. All of you are risking your life, leaving your home every day, saying goodbye to your loved one, not knowing if you're going to see them or not. So thank you for proudly displaying your badge and serving your communities. That's something that I so totally admire. And I have a couple of friends that I want to give a quick shout out to, the SWAT team of Chicago. You guys are phenomenal. You have one of the hardest jobs in the world. Sal, K9 Richie, Michael, all of you out there, we see you, we love you, we appreciate you. And law enforcement families, stay strong. We're praying for you. We do truly, truly appreciate everything that our men and women are doing to ensure law and order in our streets. As a public school teacher, I will never stop teaching my students to respect our law enforcement officers. I will never stop teaching my students the importance and the value of law enforcement officers. And yes, they do sign Christmas cards for our local police officers. And I give them a little pep talk. I say, hey, guess what? It's winter break. They don't get to go home, watch Netflix, sleep in, sip on hot chocolate, and hang out with their friends. No, they're out there busting their tails off to make sure that you are able to stay home with your families and your friends and enjoy your winter break. So I definitely, I will never stop teaching my students in school the importance of our law enforcement officers. And it's such a shame that these radicals want to defund our school resource officers. And across the country, in many school districts, they have successfully defunded our school resource officers, only a few weeks later to say, where's the police? Let's defund them, and then let's complain when they don't come to our help. So that is called delusion. And our students love our school resource officers. They not only keep our schools safe and our hallways safe, and they make sure that that we can avoid school shootings, and they're there for things that our school counselors can't do. They always say, oh, well, we're going to give the funds to the school counselors. No, honey, that's not how that works, okay? Either arm your teachers, arm us, or keep our school resource officers away. And if you are prepared to defund our school resource officers, this goes to all the school districts across the country. If you are prepared to defund our school resource officers, you better be prepared to lose your teachers. I'm just saying. So either arm your teachers or keep our school resource officers. We love them. The kids love them. They make long-lasting relationships with the students. They embody everything that we want our children to look up to. They truly are heroes. So again, law enforcement, thank you so much. With that said, I want to give shout-outs to our super chats in our live feed. We love reading your comments. Every time we're done with our videos, we go back to our hotel and we watch the videos, and we definitely read the comments. So thank you so much. We've got 57,000 watching. We love all of you. So just a few super chats here. Jay says, vote red, vote Trump to keep us out. The Democrat dark winner, finish strong, never back down, never take anything for granted. Thank you so much for your super chat. We've got a super chat from Laura, legal immigrants for Trump. Amen. Let's keep going. Peggy, thank you so much for your super chat. We appreciate it. James Martin, thank you so much for your super chat. We really appreciate it. And Jimmy, thank you so much. I want to keep scrolling, but I don't know why my phone is acting up. I can't feel my toes. I can't feel my fingers. But all of that is going to go away when President Trump arrives here. So I hope you're as excited as I am. So keep the chats coming. We do read the comments, and we're more than happy to give you all a shout out. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. We are almost 100% viewer supported, so we do appreciate you being here. Here we go. We got another one. Cynthia, Trump 2020. Yes, thank you so much, Cynthia. For some reason, I can't scroll back. Here we go. Vote Witchman. Jonathan Witchman for Wisconsin governor. Backs our president Donald Trump. Join the movement. Amen. Thank you so much, Jonathan, and best of luck to you running for governor in Wisconsin. That is awesome. Very good, very good. So it is currently 7:15 Central Time. President Trump was set to speak here at 7 p.m., but he had 2 other rallies today. This man is hauling. He is like the Energized Bunny. He's got rallies upon rallies upon rallies. I don't know if you all know this, but Biden had a car rally today where Obama was screeching and talking nonsense, talking malarkey is what they're really good at. Come on, man. So Biden does what? 1 rally a week and he's wiped out. My man, Uncle Don, out here pulling 3 Trump rallies a day, and I know he's going to keep that up. So thank you all very much. Here we go. We've got, who do we have here? Oh, I've already read those super chats. All right, keep those comments coming. Clay, thank you so much for your super chat. I feel a red wave coming. Let me tell y'all, I feel that red wave coming too. I can't believe I did not vote in 2016. And let us know in the comment section, did you vote in 2016? Did you vote for Trump in 2016? I hate to say it, I didn't vote in 2016. In 2012, I voted for Obama because the media told me to. I said, okay. And then 2016 came around, and the media was not fair to Trump, and I did not want to vote for Clinton. So I didn't vote, but I will be voting for Donald J. Trump this coming November, and I hope that you are too. This brings me to the next topic that a lot of my followers have been waiting for. We always talk about the accomplishments of President Trump, and those are endless, and that is what we are here for. We are here to spread the truth. We are here to spread positivity on what President Trump is doing for the United States and what President Trump is doing for foreign policy in other countries. You may remember me. I'm that Armenian girl who is bringing you real-life coverage of what's going on in the South Caucasus region. Been in war for almost 1 month by Turkey and Azerbaijan. And I just, Armenian Americans have been very hopeful that United States would be supporting us and being involved. And in just the last couple of weeks, we have really, really seen that. And just at the rally in Carson City, Nevada, we had a group of Armenians for Trump from Sacramento who yelled Armenians for Trump. And I mean, Trump talked about Armenians for a good 3 minutes. A man didn't have to do that. We were in tears because that symbolized not just that he physically heard us, but he showed recognition that he knows what's going on. He showed support. He showed that he said we are working on something. At the same time, he was talking about terrorism, talk about messages and how important that is. This man literally talked about the fact that we are defeating terrorism at the same time, touching so positively on what's going on and that he is involved and that they are working on something. So to any unhopeful Armenians or anyone who's unhopeful at this time, I want you to take a moment and say, well, what are the achievements? I want you to take a moment and say, what does all of this mean? The message is bigger than you might think. We say, oh, the mainstream media isn't covering us. We're not getting news coverage. Here you are. You're getting news coverage. Trump is silent. Trump is silent. When Trump says something, he does it. Trump. See, what Obama did was he promised Armenians 6 times he would recognize the Armenian genocide. Did he do it? Did he do it? No, he did not. And we voted for him blindly because we were promised. President Trump didn't do that. He doesn't need our votes. He's not trying to pander. So to any unhopeful Armenians out there, I just want you to know that President Trump does care about Armenia. I mean, just yesterday I saw an article, and I just want to share that with you. President Trump says he is participating in Nagorno-Karabakh talks as a mediator. Did Obama do that? Did Joe Biden do that? Joe Biden's been in office for 47 years. Are you kidding me? I mean, you just keep this going. United States Secretary of State Pompeo has been involved. He's been talking to our foreign, our foreign minister from Armenia. They're working on something, you guys. Trump is a man of his words. He's not going to give us empty promises. So to the diaspora, to the Armenians, continue doing what you're doing. We can't win without you. And I just want to give a shout out to some of the big key name Armenians out across this country. Robert Torosyan and your brother Jack Torosyan, you guys are incredible. Keep fighting for us. Keep these peaceful protests, these peaceful rallies going on, because that's how we get the name and the word out there. Benno Blanco, you're awesome. DJ High, you're awesome. John Ishavo from System of a Down, thank you for reporting what's happening to your followers about Armenia. Emil Gessen, this man, he is an independent documentary filmmaker from UK. He's been on the front lines in Armenia, showing us firsthand the war in Armenia, talking to the civilians there. So Armenians in California, the diaspora, Anthony Kabasa and Tony B and Kit Cunningham, all these non-Armenians who are helping to spread awareness, coming to our rallies, keep doing what you're doing, keep that fire in you. My message to not just Armenians, my message to everyone who is facing any kind of crisis, whether it's a personal crisis, a workplace crisis, a country crisis, the best thing that you can do is come together, unite as people, unite as one people. We're all fighting for the same cause. We're all fighting for peace. We're all fighting for unity. We're all fighting for love. The last thing we need right now is division. Let's put our political stance aside. Let's put all of our indifferences aside and come together as a family, come together as one. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for spreading awareness about Armenia. This is bigger than you might think. And I can't thank President Trump enough for his acknowledgement. And y'all, I'm voting Trump. So I'll see y'all at the booth where I give a check mark to re-elect President Donald J. Trump. So thank you again to our law enforcement. Thank you again to everybody watching. I'm going to hand it off to Grace now.
That was such a beautiful message. Thank you so much, Lilith. Yes, we really do need unity. We're not divided in this country or throughout the world. I really believe that all we need to do is be able to come to the table and talk to each other about our differences and about different things that are going on in the world that aren't getting reported. And I think it's so important that you are so passionate about Armenia and are able to share that testimony and share about your people. I really love that. It's not very often that you find someone as that dedicated about what they believe in. So that's really awesome. But yeah, like I said, we really need unity, and that's what President Trump represents. He represents unity and coming together as Americans and being able to set aside differences. He always says, like, hey, I'm willing to meet Democrats in the middle. I'm willing to come to the table and talk about things and negotiate. And he is a master negotiator. He gets things done. Promises made, promises kept. There's actually a website that you can go to that Father Frank told me about, promiseskept.com. If you go there, you can look up by category all of the different promises that President Trump has been able to keep since getting into office 4 years ago. There's other websites too, like 143reasons.com, and
we're so quick to ask for President Trump's help on something before we even support him. It's so easy for us to point our finger at him and say, President Trump, he's a problem. Why isn't he getting involved in this? Why isn't he getting involved in that? Why are we pointing our finger to President Trump? No one crowned him the king of the world. No one ever crowned him the king of the world. He's a president of the United States. yes, his involvement in other countries is very crucial, and that's the message that we're giving. But let's give him recognition for what he is doing.
Yeah,
this man just came out of COVID. We're battling our own wars here in the U.S. We're battling dementia, Joe Biden. We're battling election. We're battling voter fraud. I mean, let's acknowledge the things that he is doing for us, and let's move on from there, because the division is not going to help. So that's just my message.
And it's a really great message, and we're gonna hand it back off to Liz now. Liz is here.
Always here, just off to the side a little bit. We have a couple announcements. The first one being this light is so bright. No, I'm just kidding. But there's another rally announced by the Trump campaign. So on Rally, there were 2 Pennsylvania rallies already scheduled. We now have a 3rd Pennsylvania scheduled for Monday. So it's going to be a massive campaign day for the state of Pennsylvania and for President Trump. I mean, it's safe to say, I can almost say for every single state, but Pennsylvania, absolutely, without a doubt, President Trump has campaigned harder than the alternative in the state of Pennsylvania. I think it's going to go red. I think the amount of support, starting even back to 2016 to now, has just been absolutely insane in the state of Pennsylvania. It's hard for me to believe it's a swing state, as with a lot of the states that I go to for these President Trump Make America Great Again rallies.
Can I throw in a quick stat about that?
Yep.
So in the state of Pennsylvania, the GOP has registered 7 times the amount of voters that the Democrats have. So for a swing state, that is big news. It's going to go hardcore red for the president. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Thank you, Miss Grace. I want to give a couple of shout outs quickly to those who have donated via the YouTube. Bear with me, we have 65,000 people watching, so shout out to all 65,000 of you. Grace and I are so excited to see that number grow and to see the support come out bigger and louder than ever before from President Trump. Our recent donations are from Matt Chong, who said, "Go Trump 2016 and 2020. I voted Trump. I am supporting Trump." Looks like 1,000,000%. That's a lot of zeros. Thank you. Right side, $25 donation from Herman McBride. Ohio is with Trump. Stay strong. The Crack Cat donated as well. We have 2020 from Don Zoom. $10 from Paul Schofield, who said, "When I heard Trump say in Detroit to Black Americans, 'What have you got to lose in voting for me?' I knew he was going to win. I voted for him in 2016. Speaking of politicians saying things, I believe there's a new phrase. We are no longer deplorables. We are now chumps.
Yeah, chumps.
Chumps.
That's a new word for us. So we get chumps for Trump, but it rhymes. They set that up for us perfectly.
Perfect. So shout out to all the Trump chumps watching with us. Happy to have you with us. We have $9.99 for rolling with DJAdam.tv and $19.99 from J. Pierce Bay. We have $50 from Raw CH. Another $50 donation from Matthew Wright. He said, "I'm in the Texas Army National Guard, and I can tell you that Texas is doing a deep blood red. Long live the Republic." For sure, I definitely think so. A $500 donation from James Martin. James, that is huge. Thank you so much for your support to RSBN for tonight's stream. And that donation is going to go a long way in getting us to our next event. Speaking of next events, just to give you an idea, I have a rough draft here. I haven't had time to edit with times and whatnot. Tonight is our 3rd rally of the day for RSBN. We live streamed all of them. Each and every one is no more important than the last. Tomorrow we will be live in Manchester, New Hampshire. Monday there will be 3 rallies in Pennsylvania, starting with Allentown, Pennsylvania, then Litz, Pennsylvania, followed by Martinsburg, Pennsylvania. Tuesday there will be 3 rallies as well: Lansing, Michigan, West Salem, Wisconsin, and Omaha, Nebraska. Those are all that are currently announced, so we will keep you updated. Make sure you are tuned in to our Instagram and our Twitter. We announce on our Twitter as soon as these are announced via the campaign, so it's a great source, a great place for you to have to follow President Trump's campaign and to stay in the loop of what's going on. These rallies are incredible. And like 2016, no one was there to point the camera, so it was hard to know President Trump was going to win. But in my opinion, the polls obviously lost all credibility. If you want to know a real poll, look at the crowd sizes. Compare compare the two rallies.
Just believe the opposite of the polls. Whatever you do, whatever it is, Biden is up 6 right now, and it really means that President Trump is up 6. So.
I also saw, let me see if I screenshotted this. According to Rasmussen reports, the National Daily Black Likely Voter Job Approval for POTUS has gone up. Starting on the 19th, it was at 25%. Every single day, roughly, it went up. And 5 days later, it went from 25% to 46% support of black voter job approval for President Trump. Big increase. We love to see it.
The debate, what do you think changed?
I know, it was right after the debate. I have no idea. I mean, I obviously thought President Trump won. I thought he held himself well. But I didn't necessarily think that there was any significant race relations or comments or questions regarding that. What do you think it could have been?
I mean, I think the president just came out on top during the debate, and Joe Biden was just fading throughout the debate, and he ended up started slurring his words at the end. And America needs a president no matter what race you are who is competent, and I think maybe that could have been the upswing.
Thank you, Grace. I also want to do a quick reminder and say thank you to our partners over at iTarget. Before Air Force One arrives, again, it's 7:30 right now. President Trump was scheduled to take the stage here in Kenosha, Wisconsin at 7 p.m. So he's already half an hour behind schedule. It's fine with us. We're going to hang out until the president gets here. You guys sit tight. You have nowhere to go, or you don't have to go anywhere. Our stream will be simultaneous. I'm sure you're busy people. But again, as you know, lately, innocent people are falling victim to crime, intimidation, and are forced to fend for themselves because Democrats and the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. Most of us don't have time to train consistently. Plus, let's face it, ammo is very expensive. This is why iTarget Pro was invented. Using their proprietary app and laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. iTarget comes in all major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Today, you can get 10% off, plus free shipping with the offer code SAVE10, that's SAVE10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it'll pay for itself in just a few days. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. Again, the letter I, targetpro.com. Offer code SAVE10. My 9mm is in the mail on its way to me, so I'm so excited. I also think it's going to be the Christmas gift for both of my brothers, and I know they're going to love it. It's a lot for me to go out to the shooting range by myself and practice. My brothers don't live with me, so I'm really excited to have my own iTarget Pro and to be able to practice on my own and just to make sure I'm as comfortable with my handgun as possible. So it's useful to have. I mean, right now I've had one for years, and let's be honest, I'm not great with it. I'm not that comfortable with it, and this is the perfect solution. So I'm so excited to get my own iTarget Pro. Grace, how can our viewers donate? I've been getting some questions about them wanting to support RSBN and how they can donate to us. So, yes. Her little mittens, her hands are frozen.
Yes, our viewers can donate to Right Side Broadcasting by, you can do the super chat on the YouTube, so you just click the button, I think it's in the right. But the thing is, YouTube takes about 30% of the donations that you guys give us there, so we recommend that you guys support us as much as possible by sending donations to our website, which is www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. That will go 100% towards Right Side Broadcasting. It will help us get to all of the events. And you guys can also physically mail a check to RSBN at 1550 Opelika Road, Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So those are all the different ways you guys can support us at Right Side Broadcasting, and we really appreciate all the support you guys give us, and help us break. Do you know what number we're at for the YouTube? How many are watching?
Oh, sorry. 68,000
people watching right now. And we're sold pre-POTUS. So help us get to 100K. Share this stream with all of your friends and family. Like Liz said earlier, we're very competitive here. We like to break records. So if you want to help us break the record, we got to get to 130K? 155K now. It's getting so high, but I believe in you guys, and I believe that we can get you guys to get us there. So
absolutely. Do you want to read donations?
Yes, I will read some donations. Sorry, my glove is hard to use. Can you hold this? Sorry. Okay. Thank you to Dale Weeb from, I think it says California, $10. Thank you so much. To Higby Horhant. Wow, that is so festive. Look, Horhant is his screen name. As a small business in California that was unable to open this Halloween season, vote Trump 2020 so we can open America again. Yes, 100%. We need to support our small business owners and reopen this country as fast as possible. Hey, thank you to Brian D. Vote Trump and Tuberville from Lake Martin, Alabama. War Eagle. I'm not from Alabama, but I'm going to start saying that just because I'm around.
Fine by me. Say as much as you want.
War Eagle. Go Auburn. Okay. Thank you to Dorish33. Keep it up, RSBN. MAGA 2020. Thank you to Norm Bolduc from Canada. Biden for retirement home 2020. Honestly, true, but sad. And thank you to Cool Breeze, $20. Thank you. Thank you to SM Lairs. Keep up the good fight on the right side. That alien from Earth. Interesting. Armenians for Trump 2020. Peace for Armenia and Artsock. Thank you, Lilith, and the rest of RSBN. We will be sure to tell Lilith just as soon as we get back over here. Lilith, Armenians for Trump. Okay. Let's go back. Thank you to Matthew Wright. Lilith. We found Lilith.
We love our Armenians. I see your comments. I see your chats. Armenians, hi, John. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. But like I said before, we have to be united. And at the end of the day, I'm voting for Trump. So
thank you, Lily. Okay, thank you to Matthew Wright. I am in the Texas Army National Guard, and I can tell you that Texas is a deep blood red, and long live the Republic. I love that message. So patriotic. Thank you for your service. Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for donating to the super chats. Please keep them rolling in. We love to talk to you guys and shout you out. And it's just so fun for us. I like to be conversational on camera. So send us your messages and questions, and we can help you out. All right.
I got some emails here. Thank you so much, Grace. I've got some emails here I want to read out. We're trying hard not to fall over this rail. There's like no fence here, so if we fall off, hey, maybe we might get more super chats if one of us falls, because then hospital bills, right? I'm just kidding. So some of the emails that we've gotten from you all. Addie G says, Trump 2020. Thank you, Addie G. Susan says, thank you for your awesome coverage. Awesome. Thank you so much, Susan. John Welch says, God bless our president, Donald J. Trump, 4 more years. Amen. If you say 12 more years, the liberals are going to cry. Roseanne Bradley says, thank you so much for all you do. God bless. Thank you for all you do. Arthur W. says, thank you for providing this fantastic service and bringing the best president into view. Go Trump 2020. Amen, Arthur. Gary says, American patriots love President Trump for his courage and accomplishments. He works harder than any president ever has for the American people. He loves America and always puts America first. President Trump made America great again, and he will make America great again. Vote Donald J. Trump for 4 more years. Yes, Gary, thank you. William S. says, I am a retired 30-year police officer calling for all law enforcement to support and vote for President Trump because he supports us. William, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for your dedication to keep our streets safe. Thank you very much for your message. Alice says, watching with my boys, Chip and Tom from Scone. Awesome. Thank you, Alice. Let's see. Let's keep these going. You guys are incredible with your messages. It makes our day. We read all of them. We acknowledge all of them. So thank you so much. Roseanne says, thank you so much for all you do. God bless. Thank you. Arthur says, thank you for providing this fantastic service and bringing Best President. Thank you so much. I think I read that. Let's see. Alice says, watching with my boys, Chip and Tom from Scone. Let me see. Eddie says, great job, RSBN, in supporting our great President Trump. Keep it up. Yes. You guys, this is our pleasure. So thank you for helping us to be able to come out to these rallies and show our support of President Trump and to give you lifetime coverage. So thank you very, very much for being here. Dodie says, love your coverage. Thanks so much. This election is so exciting. Wish I could attend in person. I can feel the electricity. Stay safe. I can feel the electricity too. I can't feel my toes. I can't feel my fingers, but I can definitely feel the electricity. Greg says, Trump 2020 from North Carolina. Keep up the good work, RSBN. Thank you so much, Greg. Paul and Julie Davidson are saying, great job, guys. Go Trump. And Patricia and Michael Serafino are saying, we've been following RSBN since 2015. Thank you for your great work. We love our President Trump, and we're looking forward to a big win on November 3rd. Patricia and Michael Serafino from Massachusetts, thank you so much. And that's awesome that you've been following us since 2015, because we started in 2015. Our amazing CEO, Joe, said, well, wait a minute. Trump is calling out the fake news. They're saying that they're not reporting him truthfully and righteously. So why don't we do it? And so that's how we were founded in 2015. Joe is an incredible genius who has been able to craft RSBN for 5 years now, and we've got many more years to go. So thank you again all for your support. If you haven't done so at this point, please leave us a comment in the chat. Let us know, have you attended a Trump rally in the past? Where was it? When was it? Are you able to attend a rally coming up? Let us know in the chat. We do read those and we appreciate all of those. So let's see. Let's go back to our super chats. But yeah, I mean, you guys, it's cold, but hey, you know what? We'll do anything for President Trump because he does not complain. He does not complain at all whatsoever. This man is fighting so many battles. This man is fighting so many battles. We have our own wars going on within the United States. There's so much election fraud, voter fraud, Biden fraud, you name it. So there are a lot of things that this man has to put up with himself, and we do appreciate all of his efforts. And I'm reading the comments, and people are trying to remember my name again. Yes, it's Lilit, L-I-L-I-T. If someone asks me, how lit are you? I just say, I'm Lilit, ha-ha, hee-hee. Get it? Funny? All right, super chats. We got Evan Gomez. Thank you so much for your super chat. TS says, promises made, promises kept. That's our president. Trump has a hand of God over him. God bless him. Keep him safe and healthy. Signed, this deplorable chump for Trump. Chump for Trump. And also, much love to the superb RSB team. Thank you so much, TS. And yes, here we are all chumps for Trump, because according to Biden, we are chumps. So, hey, call us what you want. You're making more Trump supporters, baby. Brian F. says, thank you, RSBN, for the coverage. Trump 2020. Thank you, Brian, for allowing us to do this coverage for you. Thank you very much. Brian Ragland Sr. says, Ragland's Diagnostic and Repair LLC for Trump. Yes, sir. Chris Perry says, my daughter Sarah is a first lieutenant in the Army, currently training in Wisconsin. I pray for another 4 years of President Trump to be her commander-in-chief. I got chills, not only because it's cold, but I got chills because that's an incredible story. We wish your daughter Sarah the very, very best. Thank her so much for her service. Thank you all for your service. Thanks to all of our law enforcement, all of our military for your service. And let's keep going. Robert Perry, I voted for Trump in 2016 with my California absentee ballot. It was rejected without reason. Oh boy. I've had 3/5 of my absentee ballots rejected by California. I'm voting in person this year for Trump. If y'all don't want to take it for us, y'all don't want to take it from President Trump, take it from Robert Perry in the super chats. This man just spit the truth. The election fraud is real. People, go vote in person if you're able to. Please, please, please. Brian D, thank you so much for your super chat. Wow, you guys are in here. Thank you so much. Seriously, we do appreciate it. We read all the comments, reread all the super chats. Thank you all very, very much. And it looks like, well, it's 7:43, so anytime now, President Trump's Air Force One could be coming in, and we're just having a good time while we're waiting here. So hope you are warm in your house. Hope you are having a fantastic weekend. Let's see if any of these girls have anything else that they want to add.
All right, thank you so much, Lilith. I finally got service. Liz was able to connect my phone, so I'm gonna start off with some email donations. Let me just get it up real quick. From Susan Galati. I'm spending my last few bucks to make sure I live in the Trump America. That is so sweet of you, Susan. Thank you so much for spending your last few bucks on Right Side Broadcasting. We need the president to go back before Maria.
Toss it back to Joe.
Okay, we're actually going to toss it back to our CEO in studio for just a few minutes.
Hi, Liz. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Doing a great job there on the ground. Look, real quick, I wanted to tell you guys about the schedule while we have a minute. Of course, we're doing Waukesha tonight and then Manchester, New Hampshire tomorrow. Now, Monday, we had originally scheduled to do 2, Lidditz and Martinsburg, PA, but they've now added one in Allentown, Pennsylvania, early in the early rally of the day before Lidditz. So we're actually going to be able to do that. I have been working behind the scenes with my camera guys, and we are going to be in Allentown. We are just we're going to pour every last resource we have into being at every single rally. It might get to the point where we're just not able to for logistical reasons. I have 7 cameramen, a 7th cameraman on standby if needed to be able to at least cover the rally if it gets crazy in the last couple of days, which it will. But that last one threw us for a loop. We have already 2 in PA on Monday. So if you're in the Allentown area around Philadelphia and they're in Eastern PA, prepare for a President Trump event on Monday morning. That should be fun. So we'll have 3 in Pennsylvania, and then we are headed gradually. We'll head out west to Lansing, Michigan on Tuesday. West Salem, Wisconsin. We'll be back in Wisconsin, and then Omaha, Nebraska. And I can't say anything yet, but we may be farther west on Wednesday. That's the plan anyway. So we're going to certainly be busy here, putting your donations to good use. Believe me, it's very expensive, especially to get flights on such short notice. So thank you all for your support. The donations are so appreciated. You have no idea. This is your network. You get us to these events. You have built this network, and we can't thank you enough. We answer to you here at RSBN, and the this great trio of ladies here doing a fantastic job on the ground, bringing you the sights and the sounds, and Will, my camera operator there on the ground, doing a great job as well. So don't miss tomorrow morning. We're going to be live from Manchester about 9:30, I believe, Central, 10:30 Eastern time, live on the ground from Manchester, New Hampshire with Mike Nificent. Don't want to miss it tomorrow, and also Alex Caldwell will be with him. So don't miss that.
y'all.
Hey.
We're Diamond and Silk. Listen. Our book dropped already.
Yes.
And we want you to get a copy of it.
That's right.
Uprising. Who the hell said you can't ditch and switch? The Awakening of Diamond and Silk.
That's right.
Now you can get the book at diamondandsilkbook.com or anywhere that books are sold. And I want you to continue to support RSBN.
That's right.
Why? Because they've been here since the beginning. And they will be here to the very end.
That's right.
And guess what, y'all?
What?
We gonna win.
That's right.
You all get out and vote. Vote red. RED. Remove every Democrat. And make sure you vote for Donald J. Trump. We love y'all.
Murkowski just committed to voting to confirm Amy Coney Barrett after originally saying she would not. The writing is on the wall. She knows our movement is too big and would bury her politically. Big reason is outlets like Right Side Broadcasting Network. Great work. Thank you so much, Lena. And that is actually such important news because, you know, the Republican Party needs to come together and unite and do what's right on behalf of the American people that elected them to where they are in the first place. That's so often forgotten. Like, the politicians always think that once they get in power, it's all about them. It's all about what they can do for themselves, not about what they can do on behalf of the American people. And that's why the president's movement here is so energetic and it's so huge, and people never fail to come out by the thousands to see him speak. And it's because he works for the people just like he was elected to do, and as he promised to do. So very important for all of our Republican senators to come together and vote for Amy Coney Barrett on Monday. I believe the hearing is at 1 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me exactly, but I think that's what it is. I will be watching coverage all day, and I hope you guys are too. It's so important that we stay involved with what's going on in the government, and especially the Supreme Court. This is a historic nomination and confirmation. This is the third Supreme Court justice the president has been able to get on the Supreme Court, and it's going to happen hopefully on Monday before the election, just one day before. And I think that's really going to solidify the president's position in voting in a lot of people's minds. So hopefully that will get a lot of people out to the polls. So thank you, Lynn. Sorry for my mini rant on the Supreme Court and the importance of that nomination. And thank you to Peter Snyder. Thank God for President Trump. I know we will leave our grandchildren in a better country thanks to him and you. Thank you to Cam O'Keefe. On 8/28/20, I donated $100. We will send this request over to Joe. I will screenshot this and send that over to our CEO, and we will get you taken care of, Cam. Thank you to Ken and Benda Williams. 4 more years. Yes. Thank you to Marlene Zimmerman. Your kids running RSB Network are fabulous. I'm spreading the word to my family about how informed and enthusiastic you are. They all agree. Great job, kids. The future of us conservatives is in good hands. You know, thank you, Marlene, because it's people like you that inspire people like us to go out and do what we do. We need all of the support that we can get, because without the support, it's really hard to continue doing things like this with all the backlash from family and friends and things like that. And it's just so important that we know that we have strong people behind us willing to back us up every step of the way, and especially for Right Side Broadcasting. They do all the reporting that the mainstream media refuses to do. So we need, like I said, all the support we can get. So thank you so much. Thank you to Tim Hawley. Thank you for all you are doing. Your broadcasts are really appreciated. Thanks to Alan Wheeland. Vote Trump. The real Teflon Don. Love my Right Side beauties. You rock. Go Trump, Pence. Thank you, Alan. Thanks to Philip Kraus. You're the best. Trump 2020, Pence 2024, and Vice President Trump. Thank you to Sylvia Santini. Keep up the outstanding work. Thanks to Jody Newell. I've been watching all of President Trump's peaceful protests on your network. Thank you for covering all of them. And we are going to try to get to the one on Monday that was just announced, a new edition, and we're going to try to make it to all of them. And we need your guys' support to do it, your donations. They really go a long way in helping us get to all of the events. So We really appreciate your support. Thank you, Jody. And thanks to Lou. America needs a detox vote. Red Trump 2020. I love that. I'm going to start using that detox. Democrat talks. Thank you to Roy. Sorry, I lost my debit card. Have not donated in a couple weeks. Next to Fox, you are the only truthful media millions of proud Americans can count on. And we the people love you. Great job. I wish you could replace CNN, Communist News Network. Google is censoring me. They don't like my anti-socialist posts. Go figure. What happened to free speech? Such a great point. What happened to free speech? It's just way too convenient that all of a sudden networks like Twitter and Facebook are suddenly censoring people from the Trump campaign press secretary, the White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, and other figures on the conservative movement. It's unbelievable the power that they have and able to just censor anybody for any reason. Especially, the worst part is that it's not even like they were censoring an opinion or something like that, which is still bad. But the fact that they're censoring an actual news story, a breaking news story about the Hunter Biden emails that came out last week, blocked the New York Post link from being shared on the platform. Facebook suppressed the story from being seen. It's just crazy. The censorship is unreal, and we need to restore free speech in this country, and that's why we need to re-elect President Trump, because it all comes back to that. We have to re-elect this president, because he's the only one who can put pressure on the senators to get things done, and on all the deep state. Looks like we have some people waving back there. But yeah, no, we really need to restore free speech in this country, and it's so important that we break up big tech, break up Google, break up the monopolies, reduce the power of Twitter, and make them a publisher. They want to act like a publisher, get treated like a publisher. They need to be liable for the things that they're doing to people. It's un-American, it's communist, this is not, like Kayleigh McEnany said in an interview the other day, this is not North Korea, China, Iran, places where you would expect that. This is the United States of America, and we don't do that here. We have a First Amendment right to free expression, free speech. So, thank you for hearing out my rant on that. But thank you to Frank and Carol. Thank you, RSBN, for broadcasting the rallies and showing the crowds. We gotta show you the things the fake news won't show you. Thank you to Lori Newcomer. Thank you so much to the Right Side Broadcasting Network for all that you do. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Lori. You're awesome. Thanks to Pat Case. 3 of the most beautiful Eskimos I've ever seen. And I live in Alaska. RSBN, send these ladies someplace warm next. Hashtag Liz rocks. As soon as Liz gets back, I will tell her that you said that. And it certainly is freezing out here, guys. I think it's about to actually drop below 32 degrees very soon. So we're not exaggerating, but it's okay. It's okay, because we love the president. We love the energy at these crowds. And I love Wisconsin personally. So I've said enough. The Gottschalks Forest, thank you. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, we got some breaking news. Air Force One was wheels down Milwaukee at 7:23 Central Time. President Trump exited the plane at 7:31. He took one question under the wing. I hope you are all having a good time. We have a tremendous crowd, he said when he walked over. He was asked if Republicans will keep the Senate, and he said, I hope we keep the Senate. He said he thought they'd win the House. And then he said, I'll see you over there. It was 37 degrees, and he was wearing an overcoat. So the motorcade is rolling over to Waukesha at 7:35, and it's about a 30-minute drive. So he is about to roll in very shortly, within the next few minutes. So we are very excited to see him take the stage. You guys, these are historic rallies. This is a historic movement, and I can't wait to see the president.
It's already wheels down.
Liz.
Wheels down.
So I have so many things and phones in my hand right now. But yes, the president will be here in just a few minutes, and like I said earlier, we'll repeat some voting stats for Waukesha County. in 2016, this was very red, and it actually voted 60% of the vote in 2016 was for President Trump. Hillary Clinton only got about 33%, so that's very, very small, and he's definitely going to win this county again by a landslide. It looks like the people are waving at a helicopter, but President Trump is coming in a motorcade, so he will not be coming in on Marine One, but the people are so excited that they are waving at it anyway. Honestly, I'm just thankful it's not snowing right now, but it's quite chilly, and these people have been so brave to wait all day long for this. You want to take your phone? Yes, someone in the donations list said we look like beautiful Eskimos, and she's from Alaska.
I feel like we actually could be Eskimos.
Honestly, we look like Eskimos right now, so.
With our dark hair?
Yeah, with our dark hair, with our coats. All we need is some fur, like, around our head, but yeah.
I wish.
I know, right? So, okay, I'll do a couple more donations. Aaron and Tammy James, thank you, President Trump, for being a true patriot and making America great again. From the Chumps in Rockport, Texas. I can't wait till the campaign comes out with some shirts that say Chumps for Trump, because you know he's going to do it. You know he's going to do it. You know, every time the Democrats do something like this, it's the best thing for the movement, because then we go on, Hillary Clinton calls us deplorables, now we need deplorables for Trump. It just helps the president whenever they do something like that, so keep on doing it. Have more gas, Joe Biden, we'll just make a shirt out of it. Thank you to Eric. We regularly watch and very much appreciate all the hard work you do and have done for years now. You're doing God's work. Thank you so much, Eric. So, yeah, we'll do one more. Ooh, this is a long one. I'm going to summarize a little bit. So thank you so much to Jack Indy and Jet Austin. We love Trump, Melania, Ivanka, Jared, everybody. He saved our country. He is Donald, the greatest president there ever will be, the greatest world leader there ever will be, a man of God, a Christian who includes everybody, a force of nature, the American Godzilla. That is some great imagery. Trump is the American Godzilla. You got it. Right Side will grow and become a famous voice and platform for conservatives, proud, patriotic Americans. You guys look so good up there. Save us a seat for the next rally, the best rallies ever. The other guys are junk communists, get paid by China and big tech, Facebook and friends, pure evil triplets. Wow. I think we'll end it on that donation. That was a really good message, and it really sums up the past 4 years really well, don't you think?
Yeah. If you go to a rally, choose one somewhere in, like,
Florida.
Not Wisconsin. He needs to come here, but you guys, it is so cold. The dedication that these thousands of people have right now, I'm blown away. I just went on a search for, like, any warm beverage for our cameraman because he's back there freezing. Shout out to Will. And there was nothing, but I just walked past thousands of people, and it's absolutely unbelievable. He's been panning the overflow over there, and maybe it's just a northern thing. You get used to this. It's incredible.
It just gets colder from here.
No one's even turning around. They're just chilling. They are waiting. They want to see President Trump. I get it, but it's cold. There's some dedication. This is the type of dedication and enthusiasm that goes to the polls and wins elections.
But the Biden rally is so weak. These people are showing up in their cars for a car rally. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that?
It sounds nice.
And less than 300 of them. It was a really pathetic crowd, I must say.
It's a movie drive-in. A drive-in movie.
Yeah, it's a movie drive-in. It is a movie. The whole Biden campaign is a movie. It's hilarious. So I think they should just keep it up.
It's stranger than fiction.
Yeah. Biden does one rally a week and he's out of it, and Trump is pumping like 2, 3 a day.
Jill does a rally a week. Biden attends.
And Biden's wandering around somewhere.
Yeah, Biden starts walking behind his wife while his wife is talking.
Who's even running? Jill does more appearances. She has her second one in Atlanta this week, I think. Kamala was in Atlanta on Friday.
Why is Obama out there? He thinks his whole, like, professional speaking ways are still working. They're not working. You put that show up for 8 years. You didn't do Jack Black. So stop trying to sound so sophisticated. It's not working. Your time is over. Biden's time was over 47 years ago. It's MAGA country now. All right.
I'm gonna take my gloves off for this one, so this means I really love you guys. I want to read some announcements that President Trump made earlier today. Bear with me while I pull those up. These are remarks that President Trump made after his Air Force One arrival in Columbus, Ohio. He said, so we have a tremendous crowd, as you know, and that's the governor. We've had a little talk. We have a tremendous crowd, though. I'm watching the crowds that are being drawn by my opponent and his predecessor, the predecessor. I looked at the crowd that was President Obama and what he had. Not too big, not too big. I don't know if that's an indication of anything, but there's nobody there. And the governor was just telling me, we have tens of thousands of people and we've had it everywhere. Then we're going to Wisconsin. He said, I hear the crowds are very big up in Wisconsin and we're going to do 2 more today. And then we're doing a number tomorrow and we're going to take this right up until the end. And then I suspect I'll rest for about 2 hours, but we'll see what happens. So he plans on winning the election, resting 2 hours, and then getting back. I plan on resting for 2 weeks after this. This man's incredible. But I think we're doing very well. The numbers are coming in unbelievably well. I don't believe the media is talking about them. I'm not sure the media knows exactly what's happening yet. But in Florida, we're doing very well. North Carolina, very well. Iowa, very well. He continues on to say the governor was just telling me that in Ohio, we're doing great. I think they've pulled back and pulled out. Something happened, but they seem to have pulled out, and we'll see what happens. He says, we'll see what happens. The next question was, what worries you the most from here on out? What worries you the most, Mr. President? He responded, well, we have 10 days, and nothing worries me. I think we're just doing very well. If you look at the numbers in Florida, we're way ahead there than we were 4 years ago, right? Way ahead where we were. And I think I can say that everywhere else. In North Carolina, we're way ahead than where we were. I think it's very good. I don't know if it's a hidden vote. I don't know exactly what it is, but we've had some polls come out, very strong polls in Trafalgar. He's won. He's called it very accurately last time that we're 2 points up in Michigan in the Trafalgar poll, which has been a very accurate poll. And so we'll be going up to Michigan very soon, but we're leaving, as you know, from here. We're going to Wisconsin, and tomorrow we have a full day. The remarks go on, but I do want to announce that President Trump's motorcade has finally arrived. It is 8:05 p.m. He was scheduled to begin his remarks at 7 p.m. We know he's a busy man. This is his third rally of the day, but let's keep in mind, let me pull up this temp right here. The crowd has started chanting USA, USA, USA. It is 34 degrees here in Wisconsin, and it hasn't affected anyone. They have been standing and waiting, unbelievably proud and excited to see President Trump. Again, keep in mind, Right Side Broadcasting Network isn't almost entirely viewer funded. We do rely on your donations and your support to keep us traveling this great country and broadcasting President Trump's rallies live, unedited and uninterrupted, so we can pan those crowds. There are a number of ways you can donate. The first one is by clicking that $sign in the bottom right-hand corner of the YouTube Super Chat. Grace and Lily are going to give some shout-outs in just a minute, so make sure you get those in time for your shout-outs. I'm so sorry. You just look like a Lily to me. So make sure you get those in so Grace and Lilith can get those shout-outs. And right before President Trump takes the stage. The second way you can donate is by going to our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, that's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can leave a message on there as well for a shout out. Type it in and it'll automatically get emailed to us so we can give you a shout out on air. The third way is a non-electronic form of donation. You can send a check. We love getting the checks and being able to read the letters from our viewers. So you can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. I am Liz Willis. I have been with Right Side Broadcasting for 4 years now, so it's a pleasure of mine to be able to be here with two of my friends and coworkers and broadcast this rally. President Trump will be making his way to the stage shortly. Make sure you're following Right Side Broadcasting Network on Twitter and Instagram. Help us get those numbers up, beat those algorithms, and beat the censorship that big tech is trying to impose on us. You can follow me as well. I am on Instagram at Liz Willis, LIZWILLIS. I am trying to reach 15,000 followers, so maybe you guys can help me out with that. I'm also on Twitter at Liz Willis, LIZWILLIS, with an underscore at the end. Follow all of those accounts for up-to-date updates on the president's campaign. I also want to say thank you to our partners today at iTarget Pro. They are an incredible company, and if you've been watching the news, you know that innocent people are falling victim left and right to crime, intimidation, and they're being forced to fend for themselves now more than ever because Democrats are successfully and unbelievably defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. Most of us don't have time to consistently train, plus ammo is really expensive. But this is why iTarget Pro was invented. They use a proprietary app and a laser bullet, so you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. iTarget comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556. So you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. Today, you can get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code SAVE10. That's SAVE10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. Again, targetpro.com. Don't forget to use offer code SAVE10. That's SAVE10 at checkout for a percentage off your order. I get so many questions about that discount code and website, so make sure you write it down for when you're ready to purchase. We have 93,000 viewers right now, and ladies and gentlemen, I see the beast. It is directly behind the stage in the bleachers. The presidential seal is on the podium. We are seconds away from President Trump's announcement and his arrival to take the stage. We definitely need to get to at least 100,000 for tonight's rally. We need to let the world know that we support President Trump. We have crowds like this, unlike any politician in history. These rallies are historic, and if I am just enjoying every single one I can get to because I don't believe I will ever see anything like this for the remainder of my life. President Trump is the best president I have ever witnessed, and it is an honor to be able to stand beside their campaign and help to get him 4 more years in the people's house. Some quick shout outs. We have Laura, Purple Trump Girl, who said, "Thank you for saving free speech. God is with you, and I will let everyone know about your awesome network." Thank you very much. Don't forget to like this and share, comment. There are so many simple things and simple ways for you to help us. While donations are huge, and that's what physically gets to these events, sharing the stream, giving us the audience, helping us reach countries all across the world. Your support has been unbelievable, and please continue to do so. We have 10 days left, I suppose 9 at this point, and every single vote matters. Every rally matters. It matters. You matter. Your vote matters. Let's support Right Side Broadcasting Network and support President Trump. We have a $25 donation who said, from Mary Beth King. She said, "God bless you, RSBN and President Trump. 4 more years and many prayers for the next month. Keep it up. We love you, Liz." Mary Beth and David King. Thank you both very much. We love you guys. Colby Elliott donated and said, "Thank you for what you do." We have Kevin Terrell, who upgraded his membership with RSBN. We have Kareem Mini Cooper, who said, "Vote Trump, save individual liberties, rights, and freedoms." You guys are blowing it up in the chat. We love to see it. I see some questions about where is Hunter. Hunter is probably hiding with his dad in the basement right now because he has the laptop from hell. 97,000 right now. Can you guys help me get 100,000 concurrent viewers before President Trump takes the stage? We want to make sure that his team sees just how many people around the world are tuning in to watch his rally here in Wisconsin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump!
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Thank you very much. Wow, look at that. Look where that goes. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy. Thank you very much. And hello, Wisconsin. Thank you very much. What a great place. What a great place. What a place. We had such luck here 4 years ago. And I have a feeling we will win by even more, I think. I really believe that. We're going to win by even more. We had a good time here, but I've been doing a good job for you. You're building all those ships and all that other stuff I gave you. All of that military equipment. 10 days from now, we are going to win this state, and we are going to win 4 more great years in the White House. And by the way, just so you know, you think there's a lot of people here? 20,000. There's about 25,000 outside trying to get in. Would anybody like to give them their place? Would anybody like to be nice? No? No. At the debate this week, the American people saw the contrast between a 47-year-old career politician, if you call him that, who used public office to enrich himself, and a businessman who entered the public space. We entered a public space to do a great job for our country and our people, right? Did anybody see the debate by any chance? They had a poll. I shouldn't say this, but I should. Maybe I should. 91% to 9%. And I'm saying, how did the 9% get in there? For the last half century, Joe Biden has been outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless, foreign, ridiculous wars. I fight for the middle class. Biden is, you know what he does, right? I think he's fighting. He's actually fighting, I think, for Hunter. For the family. Biden and his cronies What they've done is a disgrace, and frankly, what the media has done is more of a disgrace. Think of it. Think of it. There has never been a more egregious assault on our people, on our country, than what the media is doing, because they refuse to write about his corruption. And they'll write anything. They'll write falsely about us, but they refuse to write about his corruption. And now you can add big tech. Add big tech. Section 230, add big tech. In 2016, Wisconsin voted to fire this depraved political establishment, and you elected an outsider as your president who is finally putting America first. We're doing it. I had a much easier life than this, I'll be honest with you. I thought this might have been a little bit easier. I didn't know the swamp was that deep and that vicious. They spied in my campaign. They did all sorts of things nobody could believe. It's never happened ever in the history of our country. And no president, this should never happen to another president. This should never, ever be allowed to happen to another president. Let's see what happens. And now on top of it, we have the Biden deal. Pretty crazy. But you know what? Nobody, no administration, listen to that sound. It's coming so far away. Yeah. This should never happen to another president again. Should never happen. They spied on our campaign long before I won. We won. And what's even worse, after we won, that's when it really got going. A bunch of really crooked, bad people. But you know what? That's draining the swamp one by one, one by one, one by one. But you never told me it was going to be like this. You work hard. You raise your families, you follow our laws, you support your church, you serve your community, and you give your love and loyalty to this country. Now you finally have a president that is loyal to you in return, and I am. And by the way, there's some interesting things happening. Look at them back there. Look at all those cameras. They're raring. They're raring to go. Look at all those lights. They're very nervous when I'm talking because, you know, that red light's on, and then they say, get ready to turn it off just in case. Get ready to turn it off. No, but they're seeing things that are happening. Florida's looking great, you know? They're saying, what's going on in Florida? They're saying, what's going on in North Carolina? It's looking great. Looking fantastic, right? It's looking great. What's going on in Pennsylvania's looking great. Pennsylvania. We're a little worried about Philadelphia because a lot of bad things happen in Philadelphia over the years, you know. We got to watch Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. I went to school in Philadelphia, but we got to watch it. There's a lot of things going on in Philadelphia. They're watching. They're all watching. And Iowa is looking fantastic, right? Farmers. Nebraska looking great. No, the whole farm, the farmers are looking good. We did a lot for the farmers. $28 billion to the farmers from China, directly from China. Thank you very much. Thank you, China. No, it's looking good. Michigan today, right? You saw that? The poll, 2 points up in Michigan. 2 points up. And a place called Wisconsin. You ever hear of Wisconsin? Up, way up. It's looking good. So let's see what happens, but they're getting a little nervous back there, the fake news. They don't like this. They said this wasn't supposed to happen. This is going even faster than it did 4 years ago. Remember that? Remember that great evening? Remember the great? Remember the great? We started with you very early. They announced you very early, right? They announced Wisconsin very early. But they had Florida. Florida has gone to Donald Trump, and they're going, oh my, what happened? Remember, we were supposed to lose Florida by a lot. Florida has gone to Donald Trump easily, actually, right? Remember Ohio? I just left Ohio. By the way, we got you your football. Congratulations today. Got Ohio. They had congratulations too. Ohio State did great. You did great. I wouldn't want to come to one of these two places if you lost the game. Just so you know, I got the Big Ten back. I also got the Pac-12 back. And you know how that happened, right? Sleepy Joe Biden, when he heard they canceled the season, the Big Ten, I was working on China and other things, so if you don't mind, I didn't know too much about it. But they put out an ad or something that I was responsible for canceling Big Ten football. Me. I said, what the hell do I have to do with it? So I said, tell me about Big Ten. They said, sir, I have a very good guy. Tim, where's Tim? Is he around here someplace? Tim Pataki. Where's Tim? Where's Tim? He did a hell of a job. Anyway, I bring these young geniuses out. I said, Tim, we got to get it back. But anyway, so what happens? They said me. I said, what do I have to do with that? I said, what happened? Big Ten. It was canceled for the season. I said, why? These are young, strong guys like Barron Trump. He got it. He got it. But they, believe it or not, they may not be as tall as Barron, and he's 14. But these are young, strong people. And, you know, Barron, they tested positive. And I said, oh, that's terrible. Barron, how you doing? He said, I think I'm fine. What's wrong? About 15 minutes later, I said, Doc, how's he doing? He's gone. He's perfect. He's perfect. It's all gone. And he was like, it was so fast. Young, strong immune systems, right? Go back to school. Let's go back to school. Go back to school. No, it's true. He tested positive, and then 15 minutes later, approximately, I said, how's he doing, Doc? He's fine. He's perfect. But that's what happens. First Lady had it. She's doing well. I had it. Here I am. Here I am in Wisconsin. Got to get back. We got to bring our country. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. What do they have in common, right? North Carolina, Democrat governors who want to keep, watch. On November 4th, they'll all announce, you're open for business, we're open. And you notice they always go cases. You know why cases? Because we do more testing than anybody. So Barron it's a case. He's a young guy. Barron is a case. 99.9. You know that, right? 99.9. Barron's a case, and it's crazy. And you turn on and you say, cases have jumped. Cases, because we do. Now, if we did half the testing, we'd have half the cases. If we cut that in half, we'd have another half cut. We have the greatest testing in the world. The bad news is the fake news uses it as a means. They talk about that. Mortality down, mortality rate down 85%, because what we've done is incredible. What our doctors have done is incredible. And so I got it. They said, sir, excuse me, sir, you've just tested positive. I said, tested positive for what? The hell do I have? They said, you've tested positive, sir. COVID. I said, you mean the China plague? Because that's where it comes from. And I didn't feel so great. And I told the story 2 times in the last 3 days. I've done a number of these, you know. You know why? Because we can't take any chances. We have to win. Some people said, how the hell do you do this? But there's a lot of love here. You know, it's easier when there's love, you can do it. If there wasn't, no, there's a lot of love. It's true. When there's love, right? Rick, is that Rick? I think, right? Yeah, my Rick. I can hardly see you. Thank you. No, I don't mind doing it. People have said, how do you do this? How do you do this? Because, you know, I'm going to go actually in the last 2 or 3 days, I'm going to 5 of these. And then after it's over, I'm going to go back home. And if you don't mind, I'm going to sleep for a little while. Is that okay? Right? If you don't mind. But no, the one thing I learned, said it,
when you're the president of the United States, there's no shortage of doctors. And so I'm not feeling good, and I'm in this bed, and I haven't felt bad in a long time, but I didn't feel good. And I just tested positive. So I'm surrounded by 12 doctors, 12, exactly 12. The best in the world. Johns Hopkins University, right? Johns Hopkins, great, brilliant place. Walter Reed Medical Center, the greatest place, I'm telling you. These doctors, they're great. But I had so many doctors, and each one of them studied different parts of the body. And I had a moment where almost every one of them was touching me simultaneously, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And anyway, I said, Doc, I want to get out of here. I got a campaign. I'm in the midst of a campaign against Sleepy Joe. Can you imagine losing to this guy? I can't do it. I said, I got to get going here. They said, sir, this is serious. I'm sorry. You'll have to just take it easy for a little while. I can't. Anyway, they gave me a thing called Regeneron, right? And we're making it available to anybody that needs it as soon as we can. We're doing an emergency use. And so what happened, they gave me Regeneron, and I wake up the next morning, and I felt like Superman. I ripped my shirt off. I want to go back. I want to go. We got to go and beat China, and we got to beat everybody. We got to beat everybody. No, it's true. I felt like Superman. I mean, it's amazing. They do a great job. They're just great people. But we got to get our country back to work. We got to get your place open. It's got to open. Your state has to open. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan. The only one that has freedom in Michigan is the governor's husband. Right? He's allowed to go boating. He's allowed to do whatever he wants, everybody else. But you know, we won that big case. The Supreme Court of Michigan found it unconstitutional what she was doing. She was locking everybody up. And it's opening, and I think that's one of the reasons that I'm doing so well in Michigan, because we're fighting her and we're fighting it. And the bottom line, we have to be vigilant, we have to be careful, we have to be everything, but we also have to get our lives back. We have to take our country back. It's going away. It's rounding the turn. You know, the vaccines are coming, right? And they're going to be really great. And the therapeutics are amazing. And maybe cures, I don't know, they call them therapeutics, but maybe cure. This stuff I took, either I got better myself or it was one hell of a medicine, I'll tell you. And I don't care which it was, but here I am, and we got back very quickly. Took a little time off. We took a little time off, and I actually probably feel better now than I did before the thing happened. So, but I appreciate you. This is an incredible crowd of people at this time of the night. Really incredible. It's an incredible group, and the people outside it's even more people outside, and it's just a fantastic feeling. You know, President Obama came onto the scene today, right? Barack Hussein Obama, he arrived to help Joe, because Joe's doing so I'm doing numerous of these a day. I was about to tell you, in the last 2 or 3 days, I said, let's do 5. We can't take a chance. 5. You know what 5 is? 5 rallies. These aren't like 5, like say hello to 5 people. These are 25, 30, 35,000. We had a 41,000. And the only thing that stops us, look at the size. The only thing that stops us is the configuration. Or we could have tripled this number. In Ohio, we could have had 4 times, and it was just like this, but we could have had 4 times the number. The people in the streets that couldn't get, it's amazing. Something's going on, and they see it. Something's going on. They see it. They just asked me at the plane. I did a little quick press conference, you know. I get ready. You got to get ready, because if they're always going for the kill. Every question is the kill, the kill. Well, let's see if we can get them with this one. You know, they've been trying. They've been trying for a lot of years, haven't they? They've been trying for a lot of years. But at the plane, and they said, you know, these crowds are incredible. It's really amazing. And they said, one of them said, something's going on, and something is going on. There's a spirit for our country. I don't even think you saw this. I mean, I know for a fact you didn't see this 4 years ago, because as good as 4 years ago, that was incredible, the best ever. The best ever. This is much better. This is stronger. This is stronger. This is stronger than it ever was.
There has never been anything like it. There's never been anything like it. I was going to say, so Barack Hussein Obama showed up to help Sleepy Joe. Because Sleepy Joe's only capable of doing 1 or 2 of these every 3 or 4 days, right? And he never leaves Delaware. I like Delaware very much. But he never leaves. It's Joe Biden. I said, where's he going to be? Where? He's going to be in Delaware, about 2 minutes from his house, 2 minutes from the basement. So anyway, so I get a call, and they say, sir, I have a little bad news. What? Barack Hussein Obama has come in, and he's going to start campaigning for Sleepy Joe. I said, let me ask you this. Look, he's coming in. But first of all, he didn't endorse him. You know, he's vice president, wouldn't endorse him. And then after he won, he wouldn't endorse him. You know, it took him like a long time, right? You know why? Because Obama was in shock that this guy won. He was in shock. It took him about 2 months to figure out what the hell happened. He said, I can't believe it. First he said, Joe, you don't have to do this. Remember the famous, Joe, don't do it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to run. Please, Joe, don't do it. And don't forget, this is his 2nd or 3rd attempt. And when he was at prime time, which was never very good, because any senator will tell you that his prime was not good. But in prime time, he got 1%. We used to call him 1% Joe. And now that it's 50%, he's at 50%. And at 50%, he wins. You explain, is politics crazy or what? And you know, on the debate, that last question about oil, right? And I was very proud of myself because I went a whole thing and I was very nice. I got credit for being nice. Well, I did. I got a lot of credit. Right, Rick? Got a lot of credit. Because, you know, the first time I was more aggressive, which I happen to like better because you got to get it over with. You don't get it done. But you know who liked my performance the first time better? The Hispanics. And I'm doing great with Hispanics. 78%. They love the first. They want that strong. They're tough, smart. But, you know, so we go through the whole thing, and he made a little couple of mistakes, but it wasn't bad. And then the last question happened. I said, are you looking to get off oil? And he said, yes, we have to do that. I said, oh, you do? This is a big moment. And I said, I hope you're watching Texas and Pennsylvania. And by the way, you don't have to worry about it quite as much. But you know what you do? You want to keep your gasoline down. You want to keep your heating bills down, right? But Ohio was watching, too, because they do a lot of fracking. And then I played a clip that some of you saw. I don't know, we'll have it up today, but I think it might be too cold to put it up if you want another show. But basically, he said all the way along, right? He talked about fracking. All the way along, we will not frack under any circumstance, right? I mean, you couldn't be. I said, he's really against frack. Basically, he's against oil. You know, in Texas, he's against oil, guns, and God. And then the fake news said, they're doing very well in Texas. It's even. I don't think it's even. You know, I speak to the governor. This governor said, it's not even. It's not even close. But how can you be against oil, right? Gun, Second Amendment, and God? That's not a good, that doesn't work here either, by the way, does it? So anyway, he said he's against fracking, and then he gets the nomination because Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren, a super liberal, decided that she hated Bernie and she wanted to destroy Bernie. Poor Bernie, this guy. He should get the award for sportsmanship. No, it happened twice, right? And he always takes it so well, you know. He doesn't mind losing. He doesn't mind losing. He's a good sport. But it happened to him. She would, because had she gotten out before Super Tuesday, she took votes away from him. He would have won every single state. And instead of Sleepy Joe, we would have gone against Crazy Bernie. Right? Crazy Bernie. But Bernie did us a lot of favors on Social Security. You saw that, where he revealed that Joe wanted to break up Social Security. You can't do that and be a politician. A lot of politicians are now lying by the wayside, having wanted to really wanted to break up Social Security. That's it. And Medicare. And so we had that clip, and I played that, and we'll play it the next time I'm in Wisconsin. But this is going to be, in my opinion, the most important election in the history of our country. I really believe that. Because our country will never be a socialist nation. It will never be a socialist country. And that's where they want to take you. With your vote, we will continue to bring back your jobs, lower drug prices. I don't think it's cold here. You know, they said, sir, it's 32 degrees. It doesn't feel. We got a lot of warmth in here, right? But we're going to support our police, protect our Second Amendment. We will protect our Second Amendment, defend our borders. They want to have open borders. If you don't have borders, you don't have a country. I'm sorry. And ensure more products are proudly stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. We will deliver record prosperity. By the way, you got to get out and vote. I mean, I'm out here. What the hell time is it? And it's freezing. If I don't win this state, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be very angry at you. Epic job growth, groundbreaking therapies, a safe vaccine that quickly ends the pandemic. By the way, with or without it, and we have it. Great companies. But we're rounding the turn. Drives them crazy when I say it. We're rounding the turn. Cases, always cases. They don't use the other words. I don't want to use the other words. I don't even want to talk about the other words. Because I thought Sleepy Joe was very dark when he talked about a dark winter. A dark winter. No, how dark was that? How terrible was that? They say, you sound too optimistic. They're always saying I sound. That's right. That's right, because I love this country. We're optimists. And you know what? You know what? And I said it the other night at the debate. I don't want to put myself in a basement in the White House, or frankly, in a beautiful bedroom in the White House upstairs, and lock myself in for a year and a half. Because we have work to do. We can't do that. We don't have that luxury. We can't put ourselves in a basement and say, no, we have to get out. We're running a great country. Our country next year will be greater than ever before. Look at what's happening. Our economy will be greater than ever before. You had the best year you've ever had last year. You had the best year economically that you've ever had, your state. But almost, I can say it almost anywhere I go. You don't have to, like Joe can't remember anything. This is one you don't have to. Just say, you had the best, because every state in the country, just about, I think every state had the best year they've ever had last year. You are going to have a better year this year coming up, because you see the Atlanta Fed projected, now they may be wrong, but I think the highest ever was like 7 or 8%, 35% GDP increase, 35%. Nobody's ever heard of that. I told somebody, I'll take 25 right now, but guarantee it, right? 25 right now, 35%. Now, if they're right, good. If it's at 20, if it's at 15, I mean, if it's anything like that. But they projected just on Friday, 35% GDP. The interesting thing is, guess when that comes out? On November 1st. It comes out on November 1st. So I'm willing to say, hold your vote just if it's anywhere near there, okay? Problem is, if it comes out at 25, they'll say, President Trump has failed to deliver. I gave working families record-setting tax cuts, biggest tax cut in the history of our country. And Sleepy Joe wants to raise the hell out of your taxes. This is so look. I haven't been doing this very long, but I have been in politics. I've always been helping. I've always been on the other side, right? But I've watched for a long time, and I've always watched politicians. We will cut your taxes. I mean, I've never seen. Here's a politician, we will raise your taxes. What the hell? I've never heard it before. He's the only politician I've ever seen that's going to give you the largest tax increase in the history of our country. It's a quadrupling of taxes. And he's going to put all the regulations back, all the things that have created these jobs. Because frankly, I think the regulations might have been more important even than the tax cuts. But all of those things that take 20 years to get a highway approved, we have it down to 2. It's going to be down to 1. And you may get rejected for environmental or safety reasons. But all of that stuff going to go back, all of it. But it's the only politician I've ever seen saying he's going to raise your taxes. Who the hell wants that? They're going to get your Second Amendment. They're going to obliterate your Second Amendment. Think of what they want to do. But as long as I'm here, your Second Amendment is safe. As long as I'm here. As long as I'm here, your tax cuts are safe. They want to take away your child tax credit. That's $1,000 a child. That we got you. We got you. They want to take that away. As long as I'm here, all of that, because it has to go through the president, okay? So you don't have to worry about it. The election is a choice between a Trump super recovery, that's what we're having, or a Biden depression. If he gets in with this craziness that he's talking about, with these massive tax, and you know where the money's going? To the Green New Deal. They want to rip down thousands of buildings and rebuild them with very small windows. I want my beautiful window. I want my view. I don't want to have small windows. It is the craziest thing. Conceived and dedicated by AOC +3, who I don't think she ever even studied the environment in school. She didn't study environment. Did AOC ever take a course in environment, Rick? I don't think so. The great Rick Grinnell. Does everybody know Rick? Whoa, Rick, that's big stuff. He's phenomenal. Oh, man, he'd walk into that Justice Department. He was loaded up. He gave them so much stuff. He's the greatest. Thanks. I didn't know you were going to be here, Rick. What a job you've done. Thank you, Rick Grinnell. Thank you, everybody. It's a choice between a Trump boom and a Biden lockdown. He wants to lock it down. He was saying the other night, we're not locking anything down. We understand this disease. We're going to take care of our seniors and people that are really susceptible, especially seniors with diabetes, seniors with problems with the heart. You know, some countries, they report differently. If somebody's sick with a heart problem and they die of COVID, they say they died of a heart problem. If somebody's terminally ill with cancer and they have COVID, we report them. And, you know, doctors get more money and hospitals get more money. Think of this incentive. So some countries do it differently. If somebody is very sick with a bad heart, they die of COVID, they don't get reported as COVID. So then you wonder, gee, I wonder why their cases are so low. This country and their reporting systems are really not doing it right. If somebody has a really bad heart and they're close to death, even if they're not, but they have a very bad heart and they get COVID, they put it down to COVID. Other countries put it down to a heart. So we have to be, we're going to start looking at things because, you know, they have things a little bit backwards. They have things a little bit backwards. Joe Biden has made a corrupt bargain in exchange for his party's nomination. He has handed control of his party over to the socialists, communists, Marxists, and left-wing extremists, and they are. And they're filled with hatred, venom, and rage. They really are. I mean, you look at Portland. Look at these anarchists, right? You look at these anarchists, and we want to go into Portland so bad. You know, we do it. We've done it so. We go Minnesota. We go in, and what we've done in Minnesota, what we've done all over, wherever they. But we have to be invited. We have to be invited in. But Minneapolis, a week and a half, they're burning the hell out of the place, and then Kenosha. Do I love Kenosha? Kenosha. I got the endorsement of the sheriff. I don't know if the sheriff's here. Where's the sheriff? Is he here? Where is the sheriff? I love that sheriff. We got the endorsement of everybody in Kenosha. You wouldn't have a Kenosha if there wasn't a Trump. That one we didn't wait. You know, we have to be invited in. And actually, I must tell you, the governor was very nice. He did call, and he said, okay, you can come in. I said, I wish you called a week ago. But we went in and we solved the problem, and I came back here, as you know, a little while later, and we met all of the law enforcement that did such a good job. But Kenosha, you wouldn't have a Kenosha right now. I mean, they burned down a few stores. We're working to get them built up, right? We're working to get them built up. But we did a great job. But we went into Minneapolis also. That was a week and a half. And it was terrible, the damage that was done. But it was sort of a beautiful thing. World's most expensive uniforms. They come in, they have helmets that cost a fortune. There is more computers in those helmets. So they come in, and you have 1, 2, not socially distanced, by the way, they were right, and then stand next, and then you'd have black uniforms, and then you had another line, another line, another line. And these were really bad people. And you had CNN, whoops, the light just went off. That light goes off. As soon as they hear the word CNN, boom, the light goes off. No, you had the CNN, shaves his head. Maybe I'll do my hair that way. No, you have CNN and the guy, I don't know who he is. Ali Velci, right? Velci. I hate to give him the publicity, but who the hell cares, right? And he's in Minneapolis. And I'm reporting from Minneapolis, where it's a very peaceful demonstration. And you look behind him, right? The entire city is burning down. It looked like Berlin at its worst day. The entire city, and he's talking about this is a peaceful, and then he got hit on the knee by a canister of tear gas, right? And he went down. He's down. And honestly, I felt very badly that he was down, okay? I felt very badly that he was down, but he got hit by, I think, either pepper spray or a canister of tear gas. He went down. I've never seen anyone go down so fast. Anyway, then these guys, they lined up. They came in. They lined up, 4 lines, very tight, boom, beautiful-looking people, and then they just walked. That was the end of it. It ended, right? That was the end of it. The only thing easier would be Portland. Those are anarchists. Those are real anarchists, and they would be so easy. They've been burning down that city for 15 years, Portland. It would be so easy. If Biden wins, the flag-burning rioters on the streets will be running your federal government. I signed a law. You knock down a statue, you knock down a monument, you go to jail for 10 years. Took an old law. It's amazing what that did. Did you notice it all stopped? They were coming in all over the country. They're knocking down statues. Then it goes, Abe Lincoln. I said, what did Lincoln do wrong? Right? Lincoln, George Washington. They want to take down the Washington Monument. I said, no, thank you. I think we'll keep it. No, these people, they got a lot of problems. This election day, the people of Wisconsin must stop these anti-American radicals by giving Joe Biden a thundering defeat at the ballot box. Now, it's not Biden. Just so look, it's not Biden. You know that. It's the people that totally control him. He's not going to be there long. They love their vice president. She's the only one that's considered much further left than Crazy Bernie, okay? He's got somebody. She was so nasty and so horrible to him. And I said, he'll never pick her because what she said about him was so terrible. Everything she said was terrible. And then he picked her, and I just don't know what's going on with that party. That party's a mess. But their numbers are dropping like a rock. And mine are going up, but I don't know which is more important, mine going up or theirs dropping. I don't know, but they're dropping. But they were saying, I was saying before, they were saying, do you have any comment as to what's going on with the numbers? I said, I told you this was going to happen. You don't remember 4 years ago? This is just going to be a bigger version. We're going to win by a lot more. We'll win by a lot more. Biden is constantly lies, and he said he won't defund the police. He's going to leave the police alone. He also won't tell you the truth about his decades-long quest to cut Social Security and Medicare. But we have tapes, one on the police and one on Social Security and Medicare. Please play the video. See what I do for you? I get video.
Do you believe there is systemic racism in law enforcement?
Absolutely. Joe Biden staffers, they gave money to a fund to help bail out accused criminals.
Kamala Harris was working to help the instigators, the criminals, get out of jail.
Everyone beware, because they're not going to stop.
The only person who's defended the police is Trump.
I have had overwhelming support from police my whole career up until this year.
We can reduce the responsibilities assigned to the police and redirect some of the funding for police. Can we agree that we can redirect some of the funding?
Yes, absolutely.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
Have you been on the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
Yeah.
Time and time again, talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
You never said that.
No.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Look, here's the deal.
You're an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make mistakes.
I am telling the truth.
And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
Joe, let me repeat it again. I want you just to be straight with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate time and time again talking about the need to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans programs. Is that true or is that
No,
not
it's
true?
not true.
That is not true?
That is not true.
I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government.
Everything was on the table. I did not support any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans benefits.
Whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other things related.
Joe,
but we did not cut it.
I know, because people like me helped stop that. All that I would say to the American people, go to YouTube. It's all over the place. Joe said it many, many times. I'm surprised, you can defend that or change your mind on it, but you can't deny the reality.
And he will cut your Social Security. Think of it. No politician can cut Social Security. And he tried. And thank you very much, Bernie Sanders. I thought you were excellent. We should be running against Bernie. Who would we do better with, Bernie or Joe? Who would you rather have? I think maybe Bernie's a little bit sharper. As long as I'm president, I will always protect Medicare and Social Security, and I will always stand with the heroes of law enforcement. And no one is hurt more by Democrats than the war on police, than the African Americans. They're hurt more than anybody. They're hurt more than anybody. And that's one of the great things about the debate the other night. It really showed what was happening with minority communities, with Hispanic. It was incredible. Some of the answers he gave were so bad. In just 4 Democrat-run cities, over 1,000 African Americans were murdered last year. Think of it. Joe Biden and the radical left totally ignore these victims. I never will. I never will. Biden wants to abolish cash bail, releasing more than 400,000 criminals onto the streets, many into your community. He wants to eliminate mandatory minimum sentencing, even for the most heinous crimes, for murderers, for rapists. Biden would disarm law-abiding Americans and turn the entire country into one giant sanctuary for criminal aliens. I mean, one giant sanctuary. It's so bad. It's so dangerous. Our police are so against it. Before I came into office, corrupt Washington politicians callously turned a blind eye to criminal gangs that broke into our country, terrorized our communities, and preyed upon innocent Americans, including MS-13 gangs, probably the worst of them all. And by the way, if we didn't have our Border Patrol and if we didn't have ICE, they would be running rampant all over our cities, all over our states. We have removed thousands and thousands of MS-13 and brought them the hell out of our country, back to them. Thousands. And working for ICE, these, ICE is, they're heroes. They really are. And they're tough as hell, but they love our country. And I mean, I see some of my friends up here, they're tough too. You don't want the job. They will go into what they call a nest. And all of a sudden you see fists flying, you see everything going, and then our guys walk out and they bring them out. Sometimes they can't bring them out. They're so dangerous, we don't want to take a chance they come back. So we end up putting them in jail for a long time. And
it's not a good situation because we have to pay a fortune for it, but we can't bring them back because we don't trust the places we're bringing them. Today, we're tremendously honored to be joined by more than 300 brave men and women of law enforcement. I especially want to recognize Danilo Cardenas, who is a very, very special person. He's a national Latino police officers Milwaukee chapter, a fantastic man. Pat Yos of the Fraternal Order of Police, and Sage Hill of the National Troopers Coalition. I have the endorsement, these groups, and almost every group all over the country. New York City's finest endorsed me. First time they've ever endorsed a presidential candidate. New York City's finest. And all they want to do is do their job. They want to do their job, but they don't want to do their job and lose their pensions, lose their families, lose their life. Chicago police endorsed me. Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, every place. I asked Joe in one of the debates, the first one, I said, Joe, just name one law enforcement group that's endorsing you. He couldn't do it. Then I said, Joe, say the words, law and order. Just say the words. He couldn't do it, right? Couldn't do it. No, I don't want to do that. No, really, you don't want to do that? No. And we're saving the suburbs. You know, they say, President Trump may not be doing well with suburban women. I said, I think I'm doing very well. I was given a phony interview, so I released the whole tape. I was given it because we had our cameras shooting too. That was pretty cool, actually, because you can see how horrible these people are. But I was given an interview, and the person doing it, who cares? But the person doing it said, you were pleading with suburban women. I said, I wasn't pleading. No, you were saying, please, please like me. No, I said this. I said, suburban women, you should love me for what I'm doing because I'm saving the suburbs. I'm saving the suburbs. Unless you want a project near you, you ever see these things where they have the beautiful little houses and by the way, 30% of the people living in the suburbs are minority groups, African American, Asian American, Hispanic American. So it's their American dream. It's their American dream. It's your. Did you see the clip though, where they have a little house, another little, and then they have like a 6-story building that goes, and low income, and a lot of crime, and it's been a horror. And I was told, I can change the rule. And my people told me, Ben Carson's fantastic. He said, right? He said, sir, why don't we just amend the rule? I said, nope, we have to terminate it, get rid of it. It's really bad. It's a regulation, a very bad regulation. He said, well, we could just do. I said, here's the problem. If we do that, it'll never be good enough. Terminate it. I got rid of it. So suburban women, you better love Donald Trump. You better love Donald Trump. Got rid of it. And I think they do. Well, this happened in the last election, remember? Women will never vote for Donald Trump. This is, they're great geniuses. This is 4 years ago. Women will not vote for Donald Trump. I said, why, am I so bad? Am I so bad? Right? So bad. Women will never vote, and then the election's over, and they're all in a state of shock. Some are crying, some are like totally gonzo. And what was one of the big factors? Women voted by leaps and bounds for Donald. And this time it's going to happen even more so because what we're doing in terms of crime, in terms of law and order, in terms of the regulation in the suburbs, but in terms of so much, we're going to do even more so. That's why the crowds are much bigger than they were ever. And we had big crowds. We had crowds like nobody's ever seen. These crowds are ridiculous, okay? If you want to raise your children in safety, you must defeat Sleepy Joe Biden on November 3rd. He's a beauty. He's a beauty. I tell you, how the hell that ever happened, I don't know. I have the privilege of running against perhaps the single worst candidate in the history of presidential politics, which puts a lot of pressure on me.
It puts a tremendous amount of pressure. I'd rather run against a good, possibly even a great candidate, because if something happens, you don't feel so bad. Can you imagine losing to this guy? Can you imagine? You better not do that to me, Wisconsin. You know, if we win Wisconsin, we win. That's a big deal. We win Wisconsin. We win Wisconsin, it's over. So in addition to the great Rick Grinnell, we're joined by Warriors Brian Style. Brian, doing a great job. Thank you, Brian. And Glenn Grothman. Glenn, thank you, Congressman. And a great congressional candidate, F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'd like to say, can I add F? Scott Fitzgerald. I know F. Scott. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Great, Scott. I heard you're doing well. I heard you're doing really well. Wisconsin GOP Chairman Andrew Hitt, who's been fantastic. How are we doing? We're doing good, Andrew? Oh, we better do good. You'll be fired so fast, Andrew. He said we're doing great. We are doing good. We're doing good. We should be doing good. For decades, our politicians spent trillions of dollars rebuilding foreign nations, fighting foreign wars, and defending foreign borders. But we are now finally protecting our nation, rebuilding our cities, and we are bringing our jobs, our factories, and our troops back home where they belong, back to the USA. Back home. We're bringing our troops back home. It's enough. 19 years in Afghanistan. And they're acting as police. They have to have their own police. 19 years in Afghanistan, and they're the greatest fighters in the world, and now they have the greatest equipment in the world. You know, when I took over, it was depleted. $2.5 trillion made in the USA, a lot of it in Wisconsin, by the way. This week I signed an order to protect the pensions of workers at the Delphi Corporation. Does anybody know about that? These workers were taken advantage of very badly. When GM went bankrupt, Biden and Obama threw these workers to the wolves. Their pensions were totally wiped out. They were treated very unfairly. My order is the first step to restoring the pensions and health care benefits promised to workers in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio. Because I will never let anyone rip off our great American workers. We're going to take care of our workers, and we should take care of our workers. So Delphi, is there anybody from Delphi here? I know I have your vote, but I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because what they did to you, look at that, that's quite a few people. What they did to you was very unfair. They lied to you. They lied to you. I ended the NAFTA nightmare and proudly signed the brand new USMCA into law, and it's just kicked in, and it's great. One of the most important things that makes it prohibitive for companies to leave Wisconsin or any other place and go to Mexico or Canada. It's very costly for them to do that, thank you. Wisconsin dairy farms were decimated under Obama-Biden. Under the USMCA, our dairy exports to Canada are expected to surge by 50 to 100% and very quickly. And I can't say that Canada's thrilled about the deal, but that's the way it is. And I said, you either do this or we're going to maybe do something to you with the tariffs or the cars coming in. You know? No, they were very nice. They were very nice. Biden is controlled by Wall Street because they know he'll return the pro-China, pro-outsourcing policies that have always been so destructive to our country. There is no country, there is no anything that has ripped off the United States like for 25 years China has done. Billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and I give China a lot of credit. I wish our people did it the other way, right? But they didn't do it. And I'm not just talking about Obama. I'm talking about long before Obama, others also. Obama was bad. They were all bad. But we changed it, and it's changing fast, and we did a great trade deal. They had the largest order 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They had the largest order of corn, soybeans, cattle, beef. They had the largest in the history, but the China deal.
But the ink wasn't dry on our trade deal with China, and the plague came in from China. So I view it much differently than I would have viewed it. I would have been very happy about the largest order of corn. They want to keep me happy. I guess they think I'm going to win. They hope like hell I'm not. Can you imagine? Would they be happy if I didn't win? Yeah, I think so. A lot of countries would be happy. You know, they did a study that in Germany they like President Obama much more than President Trump. Well, that means I'm doing a good job. It's true. That means I'm doing a good job. I think you should say that with most. And, you know, I tell other countries, because with me it's America first. And I tell other countries, and because they'll come, they say, sir, that's very tough. Well, they've never heard that before, right? They've never heard America first. I said, no, it's America first. And your country should be first, too. You should say whatever your country is first. But we can't do this anymore. We're not going to do it anymore. We'll help and we'll do things. But it's America first. If Biden wins, China wins. And China... If Biden wins, China will own the USA. You know, China was supposed to, in 2019, I tell this all the time because I've seen it for years. 10 years ago, you go back and look. In 2019, China was going to take over the U.S. The economy was going to be much larger than ours. And I got involved 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And it was just the reverse. We were going up leaps and bounds. We were doing better. We tariffed them. We did all sorts of things. But they were supposed to catch us, right? 2019, for years they were saying 2019, 2019. Didn't work out that way. But then we had the plague came over. And we will never forget it. We will never, ever forget it. If we win, Wisconsin wins. If we win, America wins. It's very simple. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we are now finishing the wall. It's almost complete. We're doing 10 miles a week. And Mexico is paying for the wall. You know, they like to say, you know, you don't hear about the wall anymore. You know, now that it's built, we have record numbers, all that stuff. And this is the wall that the Border Patrol wanted. We sat down. We gave them everything. Cost a little more money. They wanted steel, not concrete. I figured we could put up concrete plank. They didn't like that. We did everything they wanted. We have an incredible wall, all technologically wired and hooked up. Everything is great. But it was very important. But you don't hear about the wall anymore from the fake news media. They don't talk because we got it. So now the other day, not the other day, a couple of months ago, but now they know that one's dead too. I said, we're building the wall. It's better. It's great. It's the best wall, all that stuff, right? And they said, but Mexico is not paying for it. I said, they never fail. So Mexico is paying for it, and that's the way it is. They're paying a border tax. That's okay. They're paying a border tax. They're paying for the wall. And Mexico, by the way, has been great. You know, Mexico has 27,000 soldiers on our border guarding us from people coming into our country. How about that? President of Mexico is doing a good job. It's not easy. They're heavily infected. The COVID has been very tough for them, very, very tough. And frankly, it's a great time to have the wall. But Mexico has been really hit very hard in a lot of ways. But he's a great gentleman and I think he's going to be a great president too. Joe Biden has vowed that he wants open borders, mass amnesty, and free health care for illegal aliens. If Joe and Kamala are elected, it will trigger a tsunami of illegal immigration, the likes of which you've never seen, from every corner of the world, overwhelming every community in America, including your very beautiful community. You know, we all have a heart. We want to take care of people. But when you say we're going to give you free education, free health care, free everything, millions of people are going to come here, people that weren't even thinking about it. They're going to come. We can't do it. That will destroy your Social Security. That will destroy your Medicare. The radical left isn't trying to lead America. They're trying to burn it down. You just take a look at what's going on. Only your vote can save America. This is the most important election. I never thought I'd ever say it. I never thought I'd say it after what we went through 4 years ago. I said, that's going to be the most important. This is more important. It's like a tree. You move the tree. It takes a while to really catch on. You know, we did a lot of things. And we have more to do. There's more taxes. We're cutting more taxes. That's why so much is coming into the country. Billions and billions of dollars is pouring into our country, not into other countries. All of the things we've done has been so great, but it takes a while to catch on, just like a tree. It takes a little while. But in addition, we're doing additional tax cuts, many, many more regulation cuts. We have a long way to go. You know, we have statutory procedures where you have to wait 6 months before you do phase 2. You have to wait another 2 months after you do that. But we have a lot of additional regulation cuts to come, and so important. I actually do believe, I really do believe, more important than the tax cuts. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military, including nearly $6 billion to save the historic shipyard, Marinette Marine. You know Marinette? And I was there a few months ago, and I'll tell you, Marinette, they build beautiful. These are beautiful. These are speedy, I call them speedy destroyers. That's what they are. They are gorgeous. They look like yachts, but better. They look like yachts with a lot of weapons on them, if you want to know. They got a hell of a lot of weapons on them. Wisconsin will now build the next generation of American warships, creating 1,000 jobs, going up to 2,000, 3,000, and even 4,000 at the shipyard. And thousands of more jobs throughout your state. We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. Everybody was after al-Baghdadi. And we then took out the mass murder of American troops and many, many people, many troops from many countries. Soleimani is dead. He's gone. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal, $150 billion for nothing. $1.8 billion in cash. That's more impressive. $1.8 billion in cash. We got nothing. I withdrew. And the first call I get, if we win, is going to be from the head of Iran. Their economy is crashing. The sanctions that we put on have been very biting, to put it mildly. They will call and they will make a deal, and we'll help them because I want to help them. I want them to be so successful, but they cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. I recognize the true capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. And instead of never-ending wars in the Middle East, we're forging peace in the Middle East. We just signed another country yesterday. You saw that, Sudan. So now we have United Arab Emirates, headed by a great warrior, a great leader, Mohammed, a great leader. And Bahrain, you saw that. And now we have Sudan, and we have many more that are waiting to come in. It's amazing. This was all said by the great geniuses that we dealt with. It can't be done that way. I said, no, it can't be done the way they've been trying to do it for 40 years. And we have many, many more that are ready to sign up. I did more in 47 months than Joe Biden did in 47 years. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, a limitless future for all Americans. Frankly, it's a vote for the American dream. That's what it is. Party of Abraham Lincoln. Don't ever, you know, I say it all the time. Everyone thinks that Abraham Lincoln was a Democrat. No. Abraham Lincoln was a great Republican. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we will end our reliance on China. It's already started, once and for all. We'll be doing it ourselves. We'll be making it right here in Wisconsin and other places. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, the right to life, and the right to keep and bear arms. Second Amendment. We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens. We have people, they want to threaten our citizens. You see what happened in France 2 days ago. Horrible thing. President Macron is devastated by this. We're not going to have it. And we will keep America out of endless foreign wars. They never end. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. That's what we have. And that $2.5 trillion, the greatest equipment anywhere in the world. Nobody, we're the envy of the world. We have the hypersonic super missiles where they go 7 times faster than the fastest missile, what we have right now. They're so fast. By the way, you never want to use them. We have missiles, rockets, tanks, the F-35s, all new planes, stealth, all new planes, ships, submarines. We have all of our nuclear has been redone. Hope to God we never have to use it. Just hope to God that we never have to use it. But we've never been in this position. When I came into office, one of the world's most overrated generals said, "Sir, we have no ammunition." I said, "No president should ever hear that again." And now we have so much ammunition, we don't know what to do with it. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, all signed up and ready to go on January 1st. Lower drug prices even more. You know, we had the first decrease last year. In the last 52 years, it was only 1%, but it was a decrease. But we're going favored nations who have the lowest prices in the world to match. And the drug companies don't like me. That's why you have all those commercials on television. Big Pharma, it's very powerful, a lot of money, unlimited. They are doing commercials because I did something. You're going to have 50, 60, 70, 80% reduction in prescription drug prices. It had to be done. Because I don't work for them. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. And we will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of Wisconsin. For the last 4 years, you have seen me fight for you, and now I am relying on you to deliver another historic victory for our country. Vote early, go out and vote, bring your friends, bring your family, your neighbors, your co-workers. Get out and vote. This is the most important election that we've perhaps ever had. From Green Bay to Kenosha, I feel a warmness. I love Kenosha. I love Kenosha. You know why? I feel like there's just a feeling. I saved it. I'm telling you, Kenosha was gonzo. And how beautiful a sight was that, right? They walked in. That was the end of that. Our guys walked in. That was the end. So from Green Bay, by the way, good football team you have? Good football team. To Kenosha, from Madison to Milwaukee, for Janesville to right here where we're all together. What a group of people. We're all freezing our asses off for that stuff. We inherit the legacy of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure our liberty and defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, settled a continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, dug out the Panama Canal, raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you help.
Thank you. Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. That's what we're doing. We're taking back our country from some very horrible people that have brought our country to that ledge. But we're never going off that ledge. It's going now the other way. Nobody ever told me the swamp was so deep. Nobody ever said it was so vicious. But you know what? We're here together. We're here. They're not. We're doing very well. They are not happy, but we're going to have a tremendous win, and that's going to be the end of it. Then they're going to say, they're going to be exhausted. They are going to be. This is a fight they never expected. They were taking us down a bad path. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, you have a lot of drive. We are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. All right? We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Wisconsin, we have made America powerful again, our military. We have made America wealthy again, our stock markets and your 401ks. Make sure they don't come crashing down when they raise your taxes like you've never seen before. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Wisconsin. Go out and vote. Thank you. Thank you very much.
President of the United States wrapping up his third rally of the day in a very chilly Wisconsin. Good evening. I'm Joe Seals from the RSBN studio. And why is the live bug right in the center of the screen? I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so anyway, really quick, I'm just going to rap really quick so you can hear some of this song and the president doing his signature dance moves there. Join us tomorrow morning. We're going to be live from Manchester, New Hampshire, early tomorrow morning for, I believe, a 9:30 a.m. start. So we're going to be up and ready to go. And then 3 more in Pennsylvania on Monday. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. 3 on Tuesday as well. And you can expect more of the same throughout the week. We thank you so much for all your support in getting us to these rallies. We hope you enjoyed our coverage today. We've been live all day long, almost 12 hours now, from each stop from early this morning in North Carolina to Ohio and now Wisconsin. We thank you so much. I'm a little sleep deprived. Sorry. We'll be back tomorrow morning. God bless you all. Good night. And I'm going to send it now to the ladies in Wisconsin.
Quick shout out to some of our amazing patriots who have been donating to us. A quick shout out to an incredible patriot who donated to us. I believe his name is Greg Meese or Greg M. East. Thank you so much for your donation. A few emails that we have received from you. We received one from Marla and West Brayland. Thank you for delivering the true news. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless you. The Lancet said, thanks to you on the ground, working to save this country along with our beloved Trump. Thank you. William Conrad says, RSBN rocks. Teachers for Trump. We do exist. Thanks, RSBN, for all that you guys and gals do. Thank you so much, William. Carl Spazzo says, Ohio goes Trump. On Wisconsin, thank you. Julia Rice says, thank you for bringing us our great president's rallies. You are awesome. God bless you all. Trump 2020. Albert Akian says, go Lilith and RSBN, a Central Florida Armenian. I love it. Merci, Sean. Let's see. Marcia Sapero said, thank you so much. You are awesome. I love President Trump 2020. Ray says, Filipinos from Indiana for Trump's 2020. 4 more years. We have so many, and I wish I could read all of them to you. We see all of them. We appreciate all of them. We really do. Shu Juan Lee says, Chinese Americans for Trump. My son Rupi loves Trump. Our income is up since Trump took over. Obama gave layoffs. We went to 2 rallies. Thank you all so much for your emails. I'm going to hand it down to Liz. Again, my name is Lilith. You can find me on Instagram, Teachers for Trump. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lily. I want to say thank you to our partners at iTarget. If you've been watching the news lately, you know that innocent people left and right are falling victim to crime, intimidation, and have been forced to defend for themselves. Because the left are defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. Most of us don't have time to consistently train, plus ammo is very expensive. This is why iTarget Pro was invented. Using the proprietary app and their laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your own firearm. iTarget comes in all major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. 10% off plus free shipping with code SAVE10, that's SAVE10. This is the smartest way for you to practice, and it pays for itself in just a few days. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. Again, targetpro.com. Don't forget to use code SAVE10 at checkout for a percentage off your order and free shipping. Incredible rally, incredibly cold. President Trump, it didn't seem to bother him until the very end, but he seems excited and very optimistic about the polls. What else did you think about the rally, Grace?
You know, no amount of cold can stop the enthusiasm that the movement for the president has. It's just so dynamic, so energetic, and people out here there's probably 15,000 people here, and they're all ready to see 4 more years of President Trump. So we are going to have, I think, 7 more rallies in the next 72 hours. So we will be in New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin again, and Nebraska, all by Tuesday. So tune in, and we will see you guys then. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Is this thing on? Hello? Thank you, moderators. I forgot it again, but I want to say thank you. We appreciate all y'all do. God bless you. Get some rest. Gonna need it.